Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Analog Mancave. Today, doing a review, my Sunday review series. Like I said, it's going to be every Sunday. Just don't know what time, depending on family stuff, right? Stuff happens. So, yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. Right now, we got 4 viewers in the house, and I'm doing this for the first time. I'm streaming it on Facebook because now that I'm paying for this Restream app, I figure let's give it a shot. It allows me to do it on Facebook too. So figure what the hell, right? Let me see actually if it's even running. I don't even know what this would look like. Or if I turn my head, I got 2 screens going here. So let me see what the hell it even looks like on Facebook if I'm streaming something. All right, I see live. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, I'm on Facebook. Closed captions are automatically turned on. No, the hell but closed captions. Oh wow. Well, I can see myself over on Facebook. Look at that shit, man. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I figure, what the hell? I got a lot of people following me over there. One person already shared it. That's pretty cool. Nah, I like 3,500 Facebook, like 3,200 friends. So just about the same amount as I have on here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, guys. I'm not sure how it even works in terms of commenting. I'm assuming that the comments come across from Facebook to here. No freaking clue. But if not, I'll check into Facebook every once in a while to see what's going on over there. Okay. Yeah. So this is kind of neat. Let's see who's in the house here. Teresa. All right. So we're gonna. I know what I'm gonna do though. This time I'm not going to have the column here on the side showing all the chat, because I realized there's a little testing here that when I did that, it took away. It made the screen so small you couldn't see a damn thing. So figure what the hell, you know. Speed run the module, race restrictions, use meta knowledge or not, only class subclasses in the handbook. I mean, at this point, so many people have seen it. It's kind of hard to. You have to meta knowledge. You have to change it up a little bit, right? The best class might be a bard. I just hate bards. Got your drinks? Been to the toilet? Ate dinner? I hope so. If not, you could have dinner with us here, right? Howdy, howdy, Daniel. And we have CD Blade, Michael, Chad, Flint. What's up, Flint? All right, so it should be a fun time, guys. Should be a fun time. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna keep it going in terms of the comments, just one-on-one here, a little bit at a time. So let's see. I think I should probably just talk a little bit about, in general, this module, because it was the first thing I ran when I started 5th edition. When I started playing it, I wanted to learn, what's this game all about, right? The new edition. So I bought the box set, and I gotta say I liked it. I really did like it. I think it's the best, and I'll say it now at the beginning. I was going to save the big thing for the end, but I think that the Lost Mines of Phandelver, and by the way, I'm just going to keep calling it Phandalin, because that's what I refer to it as all the time. I mean, the Lost Mines of Phandelver was the adventure goal, but I just refer to it as Phandalin. So if I say Phandalin, that means Lost Mines of Phandelver. I think it was probably the best to this day starter early adventure to run for first level PCs that's ever been made. It's better than Hamlet. It's better than the one I did before. It's better than Keep on the Borderlands. I know I'm losing all kinds of old school cred here by saying that, but honestly, it's just a better. We've had 50 years of game design innovation, right? And it's just a much better module. It's better run, better written, better developed. I mean, everything about it is just better in every way. They've format, layout, everything. So it's good. It's really, really good. That being said, of course, I changed some shit, because that's what we all do, right? We change our game, we change our modules. So I'll go through that, what I did and what changes I made while I'm going through this, and just throw up my thoughts about it as we go. So yeah, this should be good. What do we got? Well, 15 people. Holy crap. 15 people for a damn Sunday night at 5:30 Eastern here. So that's not bad. That's not bad. I wonder what the hell we have over on Facebook. I don't know. I don't think I could tell how many people are watching on Facebook. So I'm just going to keep checking into you Facebook peeps every once in a while, guys, and see what's going on over there. I don't know how it even works. So if you're commenting on Facebook, I have no idea if it's going to, hey, you know what? I'm going to comment here on Facebook and see if it carries over. I just commented. Now let me see if that carried over into here. I don't see it. I don't see it carrying over. So this is what Joe looks like. Yes, this is what he looks like. Thought he kind of looked like Joe from Impractical Jokers. I don't know who that is. Impractical Jokers. No, never heard of him. Looks like Bill Murray. Yeah, Bill Murray. Somebody said I look like what was it? Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon. Somebody said I look like a young version of who the hell was it? Not Dustin Hoffman, Gene Hackman. So I'll take it. Any and all compliments. Oh, Teresa said I look like a tumor. So yeah. So whatever. Yeah, I will take it. Whatever compliments you want to throw my way. And also, thank you for everybody who gave. I created this membership thing a long time ago. For 99 cents, you can be a member of the channel as well as a subscriber. That goes a little bit towards helping me out. And I just put it up there. I figure once we get like 50 members, then I could just do members only live streams once a month with just you guys, whoever the members are, whoever joined the channel, right? So I figure, what the hell, that's a decent perk, And then as we get, later on, we'll get more members, get more people in there. And then what I did, just because I figured 99 cents, I like 5 people joined yesterday. When one person joined, and I think it reminded everybody else that there was a member thing you could click on to become a member of the channel. So like 5 people joined up after that one person did, which is really cool because I subscribed to Restream here for like $19 a month. So that's going to go towards paying that. You don't make too much on YouTube here. So yeah. Xpion says, got a really specific mental impression what I thought it would look like, but he doesn't match that. Not gonna lie, kind of in shock. I don't know if that's good or bad, man. No idea. Man, so I'll take it. Whatever it is, I'll take it. Right now we got none watching on Facebook, and 16 of y'all watching over here. So that's cool. It's very cool. Want us milk? Yeah, milk for money after showing his face. You get a haircut, you hippie. John Davis. Yeah, thank you. I'm kind of in shock. Yeah. No, I'll never get a haircut again. What I do is I go over. I just put my hair back. Usually it's back in a ponytail. Put it back in a ponytail. Wet it down, put it in a ponytail, and leave it like that all fucking day. But when I'm off, I'm home. I just whatever. And then my haircuts consist of me asking my niece to cut an inch off the ponytail, and that's my haircut. Once a year or so, I do that. Get the ends out because it's much easier. So yeah. Yeah, I was kind of surprised though. So I created new tiers in case you guys want to do it. I think YouTube has to approve the tiers or something. Who the hell knows? But I do appreciate all the help, guys. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Yeah. So I think you could do it for $1.99. I think I had to submit all the tiers again to YouTube. So I don't know if you could even subscribe right now because of the tiers or something like that. But who the hell knows? I don't know how it works. But as of probably tomorrow, it's a 24 hours of review. You should be able to do it. But anyway, back to Phandelver. I ran this thing remember I said I had like 3 groups going at once running 5e when I first started. A library group, actually, it was 2 library. One library group I was really running it for. One game store group, and then one library group I kind of started running it for to let them get rolling after that. And then after that, I ran it for my friends, my brother and my buddies. And so it was fun because it's fun to see the same module run simultaneously, the same thing with 3 different groups, and how it differs for every single group. It's kind of wild. I want to believe that's not really true. I haven't had that much hair since 1989. Oh God. So it was interesting to see and what each group did with it, So that was kind of fun too. But I really enjoyed doing it. I changed it around, and it was just a fun time. It's I think the best starter module that they ever put out. Now, when they came out with that D&D Essentials box set, right? This thing over here, this thing here. I said, well, holy shit, if they're going to not put out Phandelver anymore, I wanted to have extra copies. So I bought like 2 more. And so I got 2 in shrink wrap still. So I figured what we could do here today is I'll unbox, 10 years after the fact, I'll unbox Lost Minds of Phandelver here for you guys and show you what's in the box set. I figure that's a good review, right? What the hell? Hey, Shark, what's going on, man? What's going on? So why don't we start with that? All right. Let me try to shift shit around here. Move my mic, move my stuff. Get the sorry, all the blurriness and probably giving you guys trauma PTSD or something here. So I'm changing all around. All right, there we go. Change this. Let's see. Can you see that? Yeah. All right, cool. Cool. So we'll do an unboxing here for the starter set. All right. Let's see. So I have my my trusty unboxing tool here. All right. K-bar knife. There's no better thing for cutting open boxes than a K-bar knife. All right. So that's good. There's also home defense, just in case. You never know. Shark. You're a Marine or something, weren't you? You had one of those K-bar knives, didn't you? You probably got a couple. All right. There we go. So let's read the decent art on the cover. That's the green dragon you're fighting. Don't look too fucking green to me. It looks, whatever. But yeah. So it's not bad. Plunder hordes, get the monsters, blah, 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 kill shit, take your stuff. Cool. All right. So it says you're going to get a 64-page adventure book, a 32-page rule book, 5 pre-gens, and 6 game dice. 6 game dice. That's the bullshit. I was pissed when I first opened that and found 6. Really, you're only going to give me 1 D10. You're going to go cheap on a D10. You can't give me the percentile one as well. That's retarded. I mean, come on. All right. So here we are. Unboxing. Yeah. 6 fucking dice. That's so stupid. So you got to roll. This is what are we, 1980? You got to roll the D10 a couple times to see what happens. It's a single-digit D10. So, Lost Mine of Phandelver. Here's the book. All right, well done, glossy. I don't like glossy. I'm not a fan of glossy because you see the light reflects off of it, But it's well done, colored a whole bit. Good art, I guess, if you like that sort of thing. It's decent. I can't complain about the art, honestly. Some of the Goblin shit looks like a 4E carryover. Some of the Goblin art, I'll find the picture I was looking for. I found before that was kind of weird. Yeah, look at these swords. What kind of weird ass sword is that? That's like almost like a fourth edition carryover for the swords, But whatever. Here's the starter set rule book that you're gonna get. All right, so it's 5e abbreviated basically. You got some character sheets in here. All right. So all pre-gens. I think what you got, like a fighter. You got a wizard. You got a rogue. You got a cleric, and I bet you it's a fucking bard. Wasn't there a bard? Oh, another fighter. Good. Yeah, because fuck bards. All right, so 2 fighters and then the 3 basic classes. That's a good mix. All right. So, what did you do last night? I don't know. Do you really want to know? I don't think so. Blank character sheet here. Okay. In case you want it. And what the hell is all this shit? Nothing. It's just filler. Nothing else. So, it's pretty bare bones, but it gets the job done. It gets the job done. So there we go. We have an unboxing for you too, in addition to a review, guys. All right, shit dice again. What the fuck? Where D10s? Come on, man. Really? That wasn't me farting. It was just a box fart. So all right there. All right. Put this back here for a minute. Get myself back up here. There we go. All right. Cool. All right, good deal. I'm gonna bring my keyboard back. So you got an unboxing out of this too, as well as a review. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Hoorah! Yeah. Darn it, it'll be worth more than 30 years. Let's see. Never run Phandelver. It's a 5e module. I think it's easily converted. Yeah. Don't do it, Joe. It'll be worth more than 30 years. Oh, I got another one there. Like with your hair like Kelsey Dion of Shadow Dark. No, I don't play with it. There's so many hundreds of dollars in value. Hoorah. I've run Phandelver several times. Fun to run. Yeah, it is. It is pretty good. The Nothic for that cool sword in its lair. Not here for fighting the red brands, really. Spoiler alert. Use Phandelver in place of Guido's fort in B5, so I think it's convertible. There was no D10 and 80, only D20. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they're going back to 1980 with that nonsense. It's like, give us a D20. Give us 2 D10s. I mean, really, haven't we learned that yet? My God. Good grief. Only, yeah, I know. It's a dice crime. Exactly. I figured you did have your K-bar knife there, Shark. Phandelver myself. Yeah, so that's where we're at in terms of the unboxing, guys. So you see what's in the box set. Now I figure let me pull up and share the screen here for the actual module itself. All right, where the hell is it? D&D starter set. I think this should share it. Correct? Let's see. So many fucking windows, by the way, guys. Sorry. So if I'm looking all over the place like an idiot, I'm not on meth or anything. I just have windows here, windows there. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. So, all right. So now we got it. All right. So now let's get into it here. This is it's a good start. All right. It's a really good start to an adventure. So getting into the basics of it, what you're doing here is 3 brothers who 3 dwarven brothers have found a lost mine of Phandelver, and them in some way. Is the canned background is that them in some way, right? And so what you're doing is you're going to help them, get to the mine and whatnot. So let's see. So how does their thing start off here? They got 4 parts to it, blah, 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 blah. Adventure hook. The characters in the city of Neverwinter when their dwarf patron and friend, Gundren Rockseeker, hires them to escort a wagon to Phandalin. Gundren has gone ahead with the warrior, Sildar Hallwinter, to attend to business in town while the characters follow with the supplies. We're going to get paid 10 whole gold pieces, each by the owner of Barthen's Provisions in Phandelver when they deliver the wagon safely to the trading post. Okay, so that's good. That's a good little hook there. Nice and simple. And I get into a lot of DM hints, a lot of tips for the dungeon master. It gets into a little bit of a Forgotten Realms, but I thought this was excellent, actually. One of the things you do as a DM is actually personality. No, that's the shit one. There was a part about how to play NPCs. I'll get into that in a little bit, though. Thought that was the one there. But it gets into, here it is, rules the game by. That was the one I was looking at. So how to run the adventure, rules the game by. This is great. And the very first thing they said, when in doubt, make it up. It's better to keep the game moving than to get bogged down in the rules. Perfect. That's old school. Now, if you remember right, this whole thing was back in 2013 and 12 when they were starting to develop 5e. I think they called it D&D Next back then. What they were doing was they were reaching out to the old school Renaissance folks. There are a lot of people. They reach out to Zach Smith. They reach out to the RPG Pundit, and a lot of folks in the OSR, because it was hot back then. Everybody thought it was a cool thing. They went from like a couple hundred bloggers, right, and people on boards, message boards, to it just kind of blew up, and it was a cool thing to do. And so all of a sudden, this thing exploded in popularity, especially when it moved to Google Plus. But then they got into the thousands. But there was at the beginning, was just a couple hundred of us, or less, 100 or 200, just talking about old school shit. And so that directly comes out of the old school. When in doubt, make it up. It's not a competition. You're not competing against them. You're there to run the monsters, referee the rules, and keep the story moving. The whole referee the rules, referee is the old phrase for DM. So again, another old school influence. It's a shared story. It's the group story, so that the players contribute to the outcome through the actions of their characters. It's about the imagination, coming together to tell a story as a group. Let the players participate in the storytelling. Be consistent. Make sure everyone's involved. Be fair and pay attention. Great. All this is great advice. Perfect, good, really good advice. Now, in terms of the credits as to who wrote this thing, I tried to find one just for the Phandelver module, but I couldn't. All I saw in the whole damn thing was this massive list of credits and bullshit. I don't know that any of these or all of these or some of these people had anything to do with Phandelver. It seems to be the credits for the entire box set, as well as perhaps the 5e rules in general. I can't believe this many people were involved in creating this damn box set. It's insane. One thing that stood out was it's like 90% men. That'll never fly today. That'll never fucking fly today. The women were editors and art people, and the men were the writers and design team and lead designers and blah, 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 right? But yeah. So you have play testing. Again, I think this goes to the D&D thing, because consultation provided by Jeff Grubb, RPG Pundit, Ken Hite, Kevin Culp, Robin Laws, and Zach Guess. I don't know who the other couple people were. S. John Ross, I've heard his name before, but yeah. So and it came out in 2014. So that's sort of the credits of it. Now, as you're getting into the module, right? It's fun, because what you're doing is you're moving from one section, one I guess in a newer version they call it chapters, because they everybody thinks they're like an author or something. But what you're really doing here is running from one section at a time, and each one is giving you like a new level or something like that, right? I think that's the general thrust of it. You get to town, so you first have a goblin ambush, then you get to town. What's dealing with that? Figure out where the Rockseeker brothers were, because one of them's got kidnapped. Two are missing; they haven't been back yet. You rescue Sildar, who this and that, and he gets in, and you then have to go on some side quests to gain levels and experience and find some clues maybe, and then eventually you find out where Gundren is kept in this castle. Nobody knew where the hell it was, even though it's pretty fucking close. And you fight a dragon along the way, just to find out that information from the druid, and then you get back there. You get to the Joethelawyer caves, and you beat the shit out of the guy who's been behind the whole thing, the black spider or some shit like that, I guess his name is, and then you win, essentially. So this thing came out, like I said, back in 2014, and it's great because it fits with the whole style and vibe of what 5e wanted to put out back then. They were trying to be a little bit edgy, they were trying to be a little OSR, and it's good. There was nothing in here that they didn't pull punches and hurting people's feelings. They killed the guy, they took his wife and kids, are going to sell him into slavery. That's it. You're done. The newer version of it, the Shattered Obelisk or something like that, where it's an expansion, it takes this, expands upon it, and they made some editing changes. I mean, instead of coming across the horses on the road that are all dead and killed, I guess they don't want to offend furries or something, and so the horses are still alive. It's like minor bullshit changes. I mean, they race swapped and gender swapped some of the characters, whatever. You know, they make it more inclusive, whatever. But I mean, it just, you know, the basic changes to the module itself in the newer edition were DEI stuff, it seemed like, and just, you know, fine tuning and editing to make it run better. I guess in a sense, that's kind of all they did to it. New people, they wanted to come in and make their mark on it, and that was pretty basically it. So let's see where you guys are at here. Holy crap, there's a lot of comments. What are we up to? 21 people? Nobody on Facebook, but 21 of you guys all on YouTube here. This is what Joe looks like. Yes. Let's see. I think we did some of those already. Buy that for $1. Where are we at here? Chomp. Sorry, I forgot to mark where the hell I was. Sorry. There we are. All right. I like the red brands. Even like the red brands from, yeah, the red sashes from Tombstone. Exactly, Flynn. That's what they were trying to get at with that, I think. That two-handed falcon sword and Tolo, walk with the shopkeeper and get to the dwarf camp. I have to roll for tracking. Ahoy, Albert. Only 2 legs. Really not digging the hair, I suppose. Hey, you know. So did you just assume their genders? Yes, I did, based on the name and the best of like I said, he. He's still right high being credited in 5e. Yeah, he likes that. 14 likes, refresh your page. All right. Not the only one surprised. Yep. All right. All right, guys. So getting back into it, I do have sort of an outline I like to go through for this stuff. All right. So let's see here. Let me see. I'm looking over here. There we go. So we got the sort of the credits and everything, and you saw the back cover and the write up and all that. Now, the readability, the font of this, it's fantastic. The organization is done very well. The layout is perfect. You know, I wouldn't change much, except maybe I would put some stat blocks rather than having to go back to the back of the book and find the stat blocks of whoever you're fighting. I like to have them in front of me right as I'm looking at it, so I don't have to flip around or anything like that. I do like that. That's pretty much it, though. Production quality is fine, other than the fact that it's glossy. I'm not a fan of glossy, not at all. I don't like the glare, depending on the light and all that. I'd rather have like the non-glossy finish on it. Let's see. The maps were great. This is the first time with the 5e we're seeing this Mike Schley. I think his name is Schley or Schley. But he does fantastic maps. I mean, let me see. I'll pull up a couple here. These are fan. Look at that. I mean, that's a beautiful map. It's a beautiful map. Let me scroll down and get to the first one with the yeah, perfect, beautiful Cragmaw Hideout. Great damn map. I like it a lot. You don't have the thatching, which got all famous afterwards, but I don't like thatching anyway. So it's a great map that I think they use for it. All right, so let's see what else we got in terms of my overview here. The maps, they're clear, they're useful, and VTT applicability. I believe that if you bought the map kit, you could have the player version and the the DM version. So this is obviously the DM version, but you could get the player version later on too. So that's nice. Were there any handouts? No, there weren't any. And that's a shame because I do like handouts. There was a chance for them too. There was a couple chances. There was notes or journals left behind. Would have been perfect. Instead of just having it on this, you could read it. You would be able to just pass it out to somebody. I think that would have been nice. Let's see if you get down. It was, I think, in the Red Brands hideout there. He leaves a note behind, I believe. There it is. Dear Lord Albrecht, blah, 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 blah. But make that into a handout. That would have been perfect if you did something like that. And I would have just copy pasted or something and just, basically cut it out and as the image and printed it on paper, made that into a handout myself when I was doing it. So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense to do it that way. All right. So let's see. Does the writing suck you in? Is it descriptive and set up a good atmosphere? It's good. I mean, I like that it has box text. It doesn't set any kind of real atmosphere, though. It's a by the books adventure. They're not going for creepy dark or anything. I guess the new one, the Shattered Obelisk, goes for the whole looking for the creepy dark aspect of it because mind flayers, ooh, ah. I think they were trying to leverage the whole mind flayer thing that they had with the movie. In 2020, whatever, 3 or something when it came out, and they were trying to leverage that vibe with mind flayers. So they're going to throw mind flayers everywhere because I don't think mind flayers is part of the OGL. You can't do anything with them. They're like beholders, kind of, So they wanted to leverage the mind flayer aspect that nobody else could do. So yeah, that was okay. Horror and suspense, no. Tension, sensitive, fantastic, not really. Is it derivative or something that the average GM could create on their own in a few hours? You definitely couldn't create this on your own in a few hours. This is a well-done adventure. It was an adventure made by committee, which is apparently based on all those damn credits. I can't believe that many people were involved in creating this thing. Honestly, I just can't believe it. Because usually something with that many hands in the, trying to make something turns out to be shit, complete and utter shit. Because everybody has to get, say so or have a little bit of it. So anything done by committee tends to be crap. My suspicion is somebody wrote the thing, maybe Merle's, I don't know, or a couple people, and then everybody else, fucked with it, added their 2 cents or whatever. I think that's the gist of it. Was it balanced? Did it have a good pace? I thought so. And they actually did balance in terms of moving up in levels, because after the first adventure with the goblins, you'll be able to basically move up to another level. Now that was, and then they tell you, before you go in here, they should be 4th level. If not, then maybe we should go back and do some of those side quests or something like that, or have some more random encounters to get them up there. So that was good. That was pretty good. And the combats were decent. They were little, they were basic, but they made sense in some ways. Some of the monsters, like the Nothic, where the hell did he come from? That's a random ass weird freaking monster to have there, right? But whatever, it want to throw something strange at him to throw him off their, throw him off balance or something, and you throw a Nothic in, because I never heard of the goddamn thing. Apparently, it's been around forever, but it's one of those. I don't know, probably it was freaking Fiend Folio or something. I don't know. It's one of those kind of monsters, right? That's like, what the hell is this? So did it have a good balance between the combat, the role play, the exploration with some gaps? Yeah, it did. You could explore, you're definitely exploring because you're trying to find Cragmaw Castle. You're out in the woods trying to find that town, trying to find the druid. So yeah, there's definitely exploration. The role playing is really a lot of good role playing in the town, a lot of detailed people in there. Good combats. The combats take a while because 5e, right? So how about the structure and the length of it? How long do I think it would take? Well, months. Quite honestly, I mean, you're talking, I bet you, at least 8 4-hour sessions to get this thing done. 8 to 10 4-hour sessions, I would guess. Were there obvious breaks for multiple sessions? Yeah, I mean, anybody can make a good breaking point, but there was definitely 4 very obvious breaking points. For the first section with the goblins getting the Phandelver, side quest part, the druid. Some of those things were really going to be a long time. The druid one, the Cragmaw Castle one, would take a while. Each of those side quests is probably one adventure night in itself, to travel to and back and forth and all that. So yeah, unless you did a couple along the way or something, you might be able to do the well and the old hag or something, like that. But yeah, there's definitely good breaking points though. In terms of replayability and scalability, can you replay it? Can you reskin it? Hell yeah. I mean, there's so many, you could use these maps for anything. They're good maps. And you could just drop them anywhere you want. I think they're really good. The wilderness maps and all that. Yeah. I mean, that's just a Forgotten Realms. So if you want to, I thought they were great maps just to have a little cutout of this large section of Forgotten Realms, which is really blown up for you. So that was pretty good. Can you make it work with various size groups of PCs or a mix of classes? No. An all fighter group is screwed. An all wizard group is screwed. All cleric, all thief group. No, it's going to be, you need a balanced group. That's why they give you the 5 character sheets: 2 fighters, a wizard, a cleric, and a thief. You're going to need all those guys to make this thing work. Plus the gear that you're going to get, the loot and the treasure. There's some of it's like definitely for each class, right? They're trying to help you out. So by the time you get it done with this thing, your 5th level or whatever, you'll have enough for each class. All right, so GM and player skill level, both beginner. That's a beginner box set. All my reviews so far, all for my first 3 have been beginner reviews. By the way, guys, let me know what you think I should do next. Any modules or ventures, whatever you want me to review, give me a heads up, because I got some ideas. The Red-Handed Doom, I love this. The only 3rd edition module ever that was ever any good, and I love that one. That's a big one though. That's a big ass one. That might be a 2-parter. I don't know, or a long day one. But anyway, let me know what you think. Whatever you might want have me review next. So, GM support, yeah, a lot of GM support. They didn't help you with tools or tables so much. They had random encounter tables, but they had a lot of information boxes about, here's what you should do for playing NPCs. Here's how you should run a game, like we just saw. Keep it, be fair, be a referee, be neutral, and blah blah blah. So that was good. VTT or online play compatibility or ease of conversion. Yeah, I mean, this is 5e, so you could buy the whole thing as part of the as part of a VTT pack. I believe I own it with Roll20. So yeah, I made up my own version of it, but as we went on. But yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's like the overall review, and I've already said I love it. I think it's the best first starter adventure that there is. So all right, so let me get over here. I got to drag my screen over here so I'm not looking to the left like an idiot. I can see some of your comments. All right, so damn, sorry, I'm a boomer, huh? How's it going, Mel, Joethelawyer? You like matte? That's it. Yeah, matte finish. Yes. Linen is much better. I agree. All right, so what we got here? Geez, I can't get off of that screen. All right, don't like the Dro at the end of the story. No, I changed that up too, and I'll get into that. Mike Schley, that's his name. It's the fantastic maps. They need a better bad guy than an evil wizard. Yeah, but it's a trope, right? One of the designers said adventure designer, so Chris Perkins, one of the name I didn't recognize. Yeah. Is that the 6E1 or the 5E1? It's the 5E1. Speed run the module. No, you can't speed run this. Replace the Nathig with a Thule. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, that would work. Or a Rot Troll. Yeah, the Nathig was weird. It just stood out. It didn't fit. A party of bards. Hell no. Bards, fuck bards. Egg of the Phoenix. I want to deep dive on the Dark Tower box set. Goodman Games. Is that out yet? I have the Dark Tower. Well, the box set, by you mean the 2 volumes in the yeah, I got that over there. Yeah, Jesus Christ. That'll be a hell of a thing. Yeah, Joey says Rain-Handed Doom is one of the best modules Wizards ever put out. I agree. It was excellent. The Dragon Town encounter said the same as the Dragon Town encounter Night 12. Horde of the Dragon Queen or Avernus. I couldn't stand Avernus, man. The Dark Tower. Maybe I'll do Dark Tower. Everyone's talking about that, and I do have those books over there. Yeah, that could work. What do I have over here? I have those Judges Guild Deluxe Collector Edition books. They're like this tall, they're like 20 inches tall or something like that. So I know there's the Janelle tribute book. I have that as well. Is it 3 volumes? Oh yeah, it is, huh? Yeah. There's that skinny one too. Yeah. Yep, 3 freaking volumes of that. Maybe I'll do Dark Tower next. Okay, that'll work. That'll be my next one for next week is Dark Tower. I actually ran in that. Actually, it did make sense, but yeah, I'll do that next. All right, good deal. So now I know where we're at here. All right, let's get back to it. So now we're going to get into the spoiler stuff, guys. And let me take a swig here. I got my coffee. Oh, by the way, here's my coffee mug. Whenever I do these, the tears of my players. I love this. I just got this in the mail the other day. It's perfect. Holy crap! I got 25 people watching. Anybody on Facebook? Not a soul. Not a goddamn one. All the guys are here, but still doing on Facebook. Whatever, Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. Now I'm going to go through. I just did some minor spoilers there, but now, if you don't want spoilers, guys, leave because you're going to get the spoilers now. All right, let me drag this back here to the other screen. All right, let's see. So let's go through it. Let's go through the adventure a little bit. Excuse me. Okay, so zipping back up here. What you're doing is you're moving from phase to phase, and you are part 1, part 2, 3, and 4. And each phase you're going through a different situation that leads you to the next phase. Okay, the first one is you're on the trail going to Phandelver, and there is dead horses ahead, or the newer version, walking horses ahead. Which why they would lead them alive, I don't know, because they're goblins. And you are basically moving through it, and you see them, and there's an ambush, and then you fight them, and you probably win. But even if you don't, because look on page 7 what it says here. Where is it here? In the unlikely event that the goblins defeat the adventurers and leave them unconscious, loot them in the wagon, and then head back to the Cragmaw hideout. The characters can continue on to Phandelver, buy new gear at Bartlem's Provisions, return to the ambush site, and find the goblins' trail. First of all, they wouldn't leave them alive and unconscious. They would kill them and eat them, right? They would strip them of all their gear, which means they have no money, unless they, got stuck 48 gold pieces up their ass or something like that. So how are they going to buy new gear? No, that's the first thing I would change is they're dead. They're dead. Roll up new characters. You fucked up. You done fucked up. So that's it. You're dead. I would not leave them unconscious at all. All right, so then you move along and you get to the hideout. Now, this is great because I thought that this map that they had here was fantastic because you're dealing with this simple little map. Number two, you have the ambush. One is the entrance. You got this little stream going through it here, and I thought this setup is great because you had different levels, all within one map. You have several different levels and then planes. Different levels and planes you had. You had the wolves over here in number 3. Yeah, I believe no, it was number 8. I believe it was. No, I'm sorry. It was number 3. The wolves were number 3. 8 was where the bad guy was. You could go up that chimney chute of garbage to get to the bad guy quick, or you can move along the ledge here. But you got lookouts, and if they see you, they'll sound an alert. And all this water from over here will come running down, and knock people on their ass and cause damage. 2 shots at that too. 2 of them at D6 damage, which I thought was fantastic. Let me try to pull up my. I forgot to make my cursor bigger. All right, so let me make my cursor bigger. That way y'all can see what I'm doing here. Mouse pointer. All right, change my mouse pointer size. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to make this red. I'm going to make it big. All right, there we go. All right, cool. All right. So, yeah, and your Sildar is being held over here in number 6 area, but you got to fight through it to get there. He'll be held hostage, and then they're going to push him off the ledge if you don't cut a deal. And the goblins want you to cut a deal with them to basically go over there and kill the bugbear. Was it the bugbear? Yeah, the bugbear in number 8. I thought that was just cool. Well done. First adventure. You get some basic combat in. You get some traps. You get to see how how your character works in real life, and hopefully you live. Because if you don't, you're dead. All right. So this is kind of cool too. So you rescue the guy, right? Let's say you rescue Sildar. And then he gives advice on how to handle NPC party members. I thought that was fantastic. An NPC might join the party if only for a short time. Here's some extra help on how to handle them. Let the characters make important decisions. They are the protagonists of the adventure. Again, this is like novelist talk. They're protagonists, as if they're the star of a novel. If the characters ask an NPC party member for advice or direction, remember that NPCs make mistakes too. In other words, they're not all important and all powerful. NPC won't deliberately put himself or herself in harm's way unless there's a good reason to do so. So they're not red shirts. NPC won't treat all party members the same way, which can create some fun friction. And as an NPC gets to know the characters, think about which characters the NPC likes the most and which ones the NPC likes the least, and let those likes and dislikes affect how the NPC interacts with the party members. In combat encounters, keep their actions simple and straightforward. Look for things they can do besides fighting, like stabilizing or holding a door. Hodor. If the NPC contributes greatly to the success in a battle, they should get an equal share of the XP. Then the characters will get less as a consequence. They have their own lives and goals, so they should remain with the party only as long as doing so makes sense for their goals. Great advice. Best advice ever in one little place on how to handle NPCs, I think. So that was good. And you're beating up Clarg. So Clarg is there, the bugbear. He has his wolf, and there's 2 goblins up there, and blah, blah, blah. When you're done, you get, boom, you're now 2nd level. Good and easy. All right. Even though, in old school, is usually 5 to 7 encounters. And you could do this encounter in one session. So 5 to 7 sessions, I guess you could say, before you level up. So that's the old rule, but you're moving fast here. And here's those weird ass swords. I don't get it. All right. Then you hit Phandalin. Now, Phandalin is fun. It's a good town. Let's see if there's a map here. There it is. Yep. So it's a nice little town. You see the old wall that used to be around it. You see the old manor house that's destroyed where the bad guys are hiding out in. Some of the main NPC areas, and a lot of little buildings here that I never really noticed before until I was reading this thing. And it says most of the red brands, live in the town. I'm like, where the hell do they live? Then I'm looking at all these other buildings that weren't detailed. Yeah, they're living in these ramshackle shacks or something, and they all gather at the manor house. So conveniently they're all gathered there to kill for the big climax of the fight. So that's good. Hold on. All right, I'm remembering I have a mute button that I could use so I don't have to cough into your guys' ears here. All right, so anyway, so that's the first start. Let me see where you're at. More comments here. All right, cool. The final dungeon was also massive in the magazine. 5-room formula. Face what? Yeah, face. Dance, Joe, dance. Ignore the audience. Forget the lines. Stay in character. Never. Yeah, I never go on Facebook. It's just I pump and dump. I post and ghost, pump and dump, or post and ghost there. That's it. I never run a published adventure. That's good. That's good. All right. Boom, boom, boom. I keep calling me a boomer. Yeah, let's see. I watch Joe for the history mainly. The history. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I don't do yeah, much older than I am. I'm not sure Joe is too much older than I am. I am mid-50s. They should always tap the characters, take them back. If you play the goblins with even partial tactics, yes, sneak attack, hide again, raise and repeat until the party dies. Yeah, they're like Mexican jumping beans. You know, they hop all over the place, and yeah, they're good like that if you did it right. Sildar is a level 5 fighter. He should be able to kill. And I know everything there. Let's see. Joe wants you to show a credit card, $1 for membership. If you want, if you don't have to, but it'd be kind of cool. Might turn 50. She signed us up for what? AARP. My ex-girlfriend signed me up for AARP when I turned 50. My old college girlfriend, I'm still in touch with once in a while, you know. And yeah, because she's older than me by like a couple months, so she I get something in the mail from AARP, and then I get a phone call. Did you get it? I said, "What I get? What?" She goes, "That membership." I said, "That was you bitch." Oh God. Yeah. All right, cool. So we're all caught up on the comments here, guys. I'll do the comments a little bit at a time and then get back to it. Okay. All right. So now you're in Phandelver. Now you know what I did. Maybe I should start with showing you guys something here, because I recently, about a year or two ago, my brother and a couple of his kids and one of their friends, they said let's play D&D, right? And so they're all theater kids, so I'm like, all right, let's do it. And so it was kind of fun. It didn't stick, it didn't last, because you know they're busy, got other things, and they're not geeks. They're not going to devote their lives to this. But what I did was I prepared a whole setup, a whole binder full of crap for this campaign. And I think it might be good to show you this maybe at this point, to show you how I prepared for it. Because what I did too was I looked at this D&D Essentials thing, and this is a shitty thing. This should never take the place of Phandelver ever. But what it does have is a lot of other side quests. All it is just a bunch of side quests. That's all it is. But some of them are good. So I stole some of the side quests that I thought fit well with the Lost Mines of Phandelver adventure. And when they put out the new version, the Shattered Obelisk or whatever, forgetting about all the other crap they added to it, what they should have done is just taken Lost Mines of Phandelver, added this to it. To hell with the sidekick bullshit, but the side quests were excellent, and just added it in. So maybe I'll show that to you now. All right, let me move crap around, because I created this big old binder. So what I do, let's see. I'm gonna aim it down again and get my camera moved over here. All right, let me turn this off. Let me stop sharing screen and move it down. And there we go again, moving it down. All right, moving it down. All right, so I'm going to go up a little higher. So here's the binder. There we go. Good. So what I do is let me get this freaking mouse out of the way. What I do is I have these little 3-ring binder, but I have these little plastic things to protect the paper, and I printed out the module, because you could write on it, wet dry erase or something like that. And I put the whole module in there. And then I have dividers for each major section. So the whole first module, you see some of my notes from when I ran it and all that. That's why I decided I got to put this thing in some sort of protective sheet so it doesn't destroy it. And then here's where I stole the stuff. Oh, here's all the different NPCs. And then here's everything I stole from the Dragon of Icespire Peak adventures, which was basically all the side quests, right? So yeah, so they have a good map in there as well. I took a bunch of them. Let's see. So Axholme, that was a good one. I thought that was excellent and worth stealing. Butterskull Ranch, Circle of Thunder, Dragon Barrow, Dwarven Excavation, Falcon's Hunting Lodge, Nomengard. That was a good one. I'm not bad for reading this upside down, huh? Icespire Hold was excellent. All right, good maps, one and all. Lodger's Camp was good. The Mountain Toe Gold Mine was pretty good, I thought. The Shrine of Savras. Wasn't that Zathras? That's Zathras. I took the Tower of Storm. I took the Woodland Manse. And let's see, and then that was it, right? So then you got the rest of it back here, the monsters from this thing as well. And then I have, of course, your craft paper. But what I also did here was I stole the map from iSpire. Here's all my little things that I use for during the game. Tribor is an important trading city, so I found this somewhere, printed it up, and put it out there. All right, the whole city of Tribor. Let's see, I have the map from iSpire Peak, I thought was a pretty good map. A little more, here's the town itself. You can lay this on the table once they've explored it. Neverwinter Wood, because we were doing this in person, right? So it's a nice map here. All right. And then what I have is I have a laminator. So I printed up several portions of the Forgotten Realms maps just so that they could see it. I laminated, we could draw on it. So Neverwinter, another lamination from Phandelver. Let's see. Then you have a little smaller version of Tribor. This I pulled out of the book there. It's just the map. And then I had the Desert Valley because it expanded into there. And the map, the scale of the map on the Desert Valley was incorrect. It was a typo. 1 hexac was equal 4 miles, not 10 miles. So I had to make sure I noted that before I laminated it. Now, this is the reason I want my house rules and some combat shit. Of course, my house rules. But this is what I wanted to show you. This is the reason I thought it was maybe good to show this to you now, is because what I did was I expanded upon the people, all the NPCs in Phandelver. What I did was I made them more living, breathing creatures. I basically have a grid here, all right? Now, what it is I have the name, I have their alliances and enemies in a column, their job, where do they live, and what do they do, okay? Their family. I gave them kids and wives and husbands and everything, and what their names of the kids were, right? So I had all that, had little notes about them. Bought stuff for the dwarves from him at the beginning, sent PCs on a quest to Agatha, Harbin Webster, sort of a coward, so a new Grail, Noah Vorks on a Tribor trail, Kurt's so Gum Gum, he's trying to redeem him, all these little things, even like Molly here. There's a girl, Molly, it was a kid who became my brother's character's apprentice later on because she wanted to be a wizard. And so, what I would do is I printed all this up, and then I would keep running notes as we went, as to what was going on with all of them. So as they interacted with them, I would just keep a running note tab written down, and just they expanded and became really interesting. I thought that they became living, breathing characters. And so this is my binder. If I'm ever going to run Phandelver again, I am good. I could do this. Okay, let's see. Ooh. All right, so bringing it back home here. All right, get you all back here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see there. All right, I think we're good, right? Let's see my mug. All right, good deal. Let's see. So let's see what you guys are talking here. Okay, John Davis. How was T.L. Chandler? Stealing from sources under the sun. Great artist steal. Yeah, it's true. 2 years older than me. Hitting 52. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you. Likes having lots of side adventures, having varieties. Yeah, and that the Essentials did it in spades. I did it in spades. Rep for Babylon 5 reference. Big fan of wet erase markers like the ones that teachers use. Yeah, I agree. They don't smear. They're nice. They're nice. There's, God forbid, you use the wet erase on a dry erase thing and vice versa. Then you're just screwed. I did that with one of those rolled up, vinyl things, and it screwed them all up beyond belief. So yeah, that's the only drawback or the only risk that you run into if you do it like that. All right. Oh my God, 30 people and still nobody watching on Facebook. Oh, Christ. All right. So much for the Facebook thing, but at least it's out there, right? Maybe it'll help the YouTube algorithm or something like that, right? So now we're getting into Phandelver proper. And everybody, here's the thing I didn't like about it. Start with the bad shit, I guess, first, right? It's a good little town, a lot of stuff going on. But everybody's a member of something. It's like there's like 5 or 6 secret societies, and there's 100 people in the whole freaking town, and everybody seems to be, there's a representative of each secret group in here, whether it's the Harpers or the Lion Shield Trading Coster or whatever. And you could do a quest and become a member in good standing by doing one thing. It's like if somebody accepts me based on one thing, it's not a good thing I want to join. You're not really being selective. Okay, I thought this was excellent. Role-playing Phandelver NPCs. This was great advice. Relax. Don't worry about impressing your players with your thespian skills or lack thereof. Get inside the NPCs' minds. Imagine how they might react to the characters and strive to be realistic. Mug it up. Scowl, smile, snarl, flutter your eyelashes. I don't mean no fluttering out of my eyelashes. Cross your eyes, or I can't do that either. Rub your hands together. I could do that. But if it's cold, just to help the NPCs come to life. Try different voices. You won't hardly ever get a voice out of me. But you could, speech patterns are another way to do it. If I can do a voice, you could talk low, quiet, adjust the volume, accents, things like that. An NPC can be loud, soft-spoken, something in between. Let the players see interactions between the NPCs, steer the interaction between the NPCs. Yeah. Sometimes I like to have NPCs just talk to each other too. That's good as well. Then you get into the town descriptions, and then if you go to the inn, of course, you're going to get rumors. All right, and each rumor leads to a quest, of course, and then you report back just like a video game, and you get some information. You get some. You basically get reward or info to further the next thing, or something along those lines. So everybody's got a quest for you, of course, just like a video game. I thought that was done pretty well. All right, and then so again, this goes back to someone's a member of the Lord's Alliance, somebody's a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, somebody's a harper, somebody is a Zentrum agent. Everybody's something here, it seems like, and all you got to do is one little thing for these people. And what I did was, first of all, I don't have any of those organizations in my world anyway. Or at least I think I had the Lord's Alliance came about later, once they realized there was a need for an alliance, but there was none of these organizations in the world at all. The Order of the Gauntlet didn't exist in this area. I had that somewhere else, basically based out of Baldur's Gate. But I just didn't do it like just because it was Forgotten Realms. It doesn't mean I kept it. Oh God, I realize I'm not sharing the screen here. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me share this. Sorry. There you go. Okay. So anyway, moving along here. The Phandelver map, like I said, is pretty damn good. The Minor Exchange, that's where the Zentrum is, I believe. The Adderley Farm, blah blah blah. And everybody, like I said, had a little bit of a something for you to do, but they don't tell you when to do it, right? But what they did say here is that once you beat up the Red Brand ruffians, there's gonna be an encounter basically with the Red Brands. They're gonna walk up to you like the Red Sashes, as Flynn said in Tombstone. They're gonna come up to you and start shit eventually, and then you're gonna have to deal with them because now you're on their radar, just like in Tombstone. And so they have this thing here. It says, "Do the players need direction?" After the Red Brand ruffians encounter, the players should feel it's time to deal with the rest of the gang. If they aren't clear that investigating the Red Brand hideout should be their next move, have one of the NPCs they met in town suggest them directly and point them toward the manor, blah, blah, blah. So it's like it's like a railroad in a sense that it should be their next move. You need to go there next. And if they don't do it, make sure somebody tells them to go do it. It's like, God damn it, you're fucking railroading. You're teaching railroading. In an introductory adventure. But then I was like, you know what? It's an introductory adventure. If the players are new, then they might need some direction, and you might need to help them out and tell them a little suggestion here and there. But they should have put something in here that said, but don't do this later on. Once they're experienced, you only do this at first level with new players. That's what they should have said. That's what I would have had in there basically. So that's Then they get into the Red Brand hideout. Now, decent map. Again, another great map, I think. It's good. And here's the freaking number 8 where the Nothic is. That made no sense. All right, you move through there. You're killing Glassstaff, and Glassstaff was a former Lord's Alliance guy who said, hell with this, I'm going to make some loot here. And he says, nope, I'm going to go and I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to take over this town. I'm going to take over the Red Brands. And he gets involved with a spider who's trying to, keep attention away from the fact that he now the spider knows where the Wave Echo caves are. And he wants to keep it so nobody else finds out. And so you move through the Red Brands area. You whoop all their asses. There's that fucking weird ass Nothic. It's creepy looking. I get it. But still, an insane subterranean monster hungers for flesh. If it's insane, how could it be possibly trusted to be a guard or it doesn't make any sense. It's just a bad monster for that thing. I think somebody, whoever said that the Thron or Throng, or whatever the hell it was, that's a good monster. It would have been good. It's a troll hobgoblin hybrid, regenerates and blah blah blah. Yeah, that would have been a good one. All right, so you move through here, you beat the crap out of him. Glassstaff is there, his staff of defense, which is a decent little thing. I thought that was pretty good. His name is Iarno. Okay, whatever. I think it's an I, not an L. So Iarno. And then you kick his ass. Then you move into the next thing, which is the side quest. So you've gone, you saved Sildar, you get a town, you deal with the issue that the town is having with the fucking bad guys in town. You're like, yes, I'm a baller. I saved you all. I've saved this town. Life is good. Ha ha. All right. So that's great. Perfect. Then you're moving into the next phase, which is all the overland map stuff, the traveling, wilderness encounters, both day and night on the Tribor Trail. That's why I had Tribor in there, because it's a real thing. That's a nice little picture. I got to say, I do like that picture. And then, yeah, all the side quests and dealing with the various creatures on the side quest. All right. So let's check and see where you guys are at here. I don't want to get too far behind on the comments. All right. Share your house rules, please. Oh, they're shared. They're on my website. Look at analogmancave.com and you'll see them there. Okay. We'll animate maps and mark where the players were in the world where the players. Yeah. Yeah. I cut out a lot of the NPCs, just help with the rumor table. I like more NPCs in this town because it became the base of operations. I have a weird town in my head that's populated entirely by a large variety of freaks, outcasts, and misfits. Lots of them are mutated. Few are inbred. Good number are mentally ill. That sounds like where I work. It sounds like where we all work, right? Yeah, we're all on my job. We're all a bunch of misfits in my job. 46 dropped the lowest and blah, blah, blah. All right. Bad shit equals 5e. Babylon 5 introspective live stream going through. Oh, nice. I like that B5. I just finished watching Firefly, except I didn't see the movie Serenity. I'm holding off for my brother to catch up with me. Let's see. There's 2 factions there. I'm jealous of your full bookshelves. That's nothing. This is just one room, and you're only seeing a slight. I got like thousands of books there everywhere. Yeah, Joe, official monster towns are woefully underpopulated. They seldom address the population basis where I did business as a craftsman. It's a big reason I must design my own. Yeah, it makes sense. That's not a green screen. No, this is real. This is my apartment. This is where I live. Yeah, that's actually my thing. I don't see the telltale hill. Yeah, no, this is real. Look, I'm moving shit. See, it's all real stuff. My apartment. All these activities, miniatures. I'm collecting all those tiny little miniatures there. They're the anniversary edition from the AD&D monster manual. All the original monsters that the WizKids put out, these little miniatures of them in their original form and look and feel. So yeah, I'm through the current one. It's probably each one of them costs like $100 a box, and probably 6 boxes in. It's like $600 fucking dollars of the miniatures up there, and we're not done yet. I think we're only up to R or something like that, or Ropers or something. So we got a few more to go. Yeah, never a great fan of the Harpers. I hated Harpers. I couldn't stand those. Quantum Manor House. Let's see here. The Harpers are more important matters to deal with than your first level. Exactly. Yeah, design baby, old man, fat women, all the mundane ordinary appeal down to the smallest detail. Yep. The Nothics and the Mad Mages campaign were former apprentices. Joethelawyer librarian. Yeah, pretty much. Nothic supposed to be a wizard that failed to become a lich. Really? I didn't know that. Okay. What the hell is he doing hanging around here then? Anyway. All right. So we're all caught up on the comments here. So let me move this back there and then get back to the adventure. So now you're going and you're dealing with the old owl. Oh my God, let me step back for a minute because I want to touch base on one thing here. In this adventure with the red brands, there was 3 bugbears and 1 goblin are present. This is only because it's like good memory for me. The goblin's present. His name is Droop. He is scared. He's been bullied. He's a piss pants kind of a guy. He falls unconscious at the sight of the party. He's been bullied. He's been told to do whatever by the bugbears, and he just dance, bitch, dance. He's that kind of a guy, right? He just became a bitch. Now, when we were playing it, for whatever reason, I didn't remember his name, and I just made up a name on a spot. And I called him Gum Gum, and the characters rescued Gum Gum, and Gum Gum became an NPC that I loved so much because he was just a little crappy, cowardly goblin, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to give him like high stats for a goblin, his family lineage and blah, blah, blah. And I gave him some, high for a goblin. I mean, I'm like low teens, right? He became like the greatest goblin of all time because of the stats and because he was able to be trained and he was so grateful to the characters. He became their staunchest ally. And later on, he raised goblin hordes and everything and helped save the town. He just became the most fun character. And because of Gum Gum, I decided that I never wanted him to die of old age. I wanted to have him forever in every campaign, no matter what era it's in. So I decided that because of the Gum Gum, I liked him so much, goblins never die. Goblins can't count. They don't know their age. None of them know how to count. Maybe Gum Gum does, but goblins in general, they're just idiots with math. And so you ask them how old they are. Like I'm 2 years old and they hold up one finger. I'm 10 and hold up 3 fingers. Right? They don't know. And so the only way they die is getting killed, because they're just so stupid. They'll just do dumb shit and get killed. But somewhere out there could be a 10,000-year-old goblin. And so I made Gum Gum, and I made that rule for goblins just because I like Gum Gum so much, because he's kind of a badass. So he's going to be in all campaigns forever. He's like, what, 9th level guy now. And the other guys, they advanced to like 20-something level, but Gum Gum kept it around 9th or 10th. But he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good. I got a lot of stuff going on with Gum Gum back in my head as to what's going to happen in the next campaign. So anyway, that was the origin of Gum Gum. Have you ever heard me talking about him? So now we're getting into all this, like I said, the side quests. Everybody threw you a side quest in the town, and now it's time to go out and do it. The whole basic thing is you need to go find Gundren, who was kidnapped along with Sildor. He's being held in Cragmaw Castle, but nobody knows where the hell Cragmaw Castle is. And so you're doing these quests in order to maybe find knowledge of it. Eventually, you go to a druid in an old town that was, fucked up because of some calamity or whatever. Orcs, or I don't know what the hell even happened. It doesn't even matter what happened to it. But essentially, you're going back into the town, and you are you're finding all these druids. What the hell just happened on my screen? Jesus. There we are. Okay, sorry, just lost something there. So anyway, you're going back to the town. You're finding the druid, and he's going to give you the clue as to where to find Cragmaw Castle, and then he also knows where the Weavako Caves are, but he will only lead you there once you do something for him, like drive the dragon out, who was in his woods. So that you do all these minor side quests. The old owl well. If you ever hear me talk about Zira, and this is where I dropped her in. She is my version of a tiefling. I created a tiefling race. It's not a class; it's a race. I'll go into much detail. I'll talk a little bit about it in various videos, but I'll go into more detail maybe someday about that. But I dropped her in here just to sort of play test that race, and she became a cool NPC along with Gum Gum that leveled up with the characters. She ended up same kind of high level as the characters and had a good role in the future of the game. But she started here as well, so that's kind of cool too. So this is like a little bit memory lane as I was going through it, Yeah, so this is kind of neat. Then we got Thunder Tree. The ruins of Thunder Tree, that's where the dragon is. That's where you go to the druid, and you got to do a favor for him, drive the dragon out. I think my group beat the dragon. So I know that the whole thing is it's not expected that you would just get him to below a certain amount of hit points, and then he'd flee the scene. So that was the general gist of him. Now, here's a couple comments on some of the things we've sort of gone over so far. I like how they did XP for goal completion. It's not just, I know it's old school to say, oh, you only get XP for killing shit and taking their stuff, and you get the XP for the kill and XP for the stuff. But I like, you've hit a certain goal and you get the XP. It's a good way to help make sure the characters are moving along at a certain pace that fits, what's coming up. So I do like that. Let's see. There's one thing where in room number 14. All right, going page number 14, actually. I didn't like how they handled this. Encounters in Phandelver. When the characters explore Phandelver, you don't need to keep track of how much time is spent. Instead, imagine that you're directing an old-style Western movie. Your goal is to present several scenes in which the adventurers walk into a store or saloon and meet the people. By interacting with them, blah, 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 blah. So, no, I do not agree. Time passes and you need to keep careful track of time. That's one of Gary's main rules. I do not agree with that. Let's see. Here's one thing that I didn't understand about the red brands, and sort of getting back to that again. They have 2 attacks around, and they're the 3d8 plus 3 hit dice, right? So they're 3rd level characters, and they get 2 attacks around. Why? Fighters, an actual fighter gets 2 attacks around, I believe, at 5th level. So why the hell would they get them at 3rd level? It made no sense. Let's see. There was one thing too when you rescued Myrna. All right, she was the one whose husband got killed on page 22. Her husband got killed, and then she says, "Thank you. I have nothing to pay you with, but I have an heirloom because we're from that place, Thunder Tree, when the undead overrun it. And we had an herb and alchemy shop, and there was an emerald necklace. And if you go there, you could get it and keep it, and that's your reward. I did a little bit different. I made it so that, Jesus, my husband just got killed. I got nothing to support my kids, and I need to basically find a way to make a living. I grew up in an alchemy and apothecary shop. All the books that I need are back there. If you go back there and get the books, you can keep the heirloom, and I'll give you I'll do a favor for you. And I'll, do I'll make free alchemy shit for a while for you, basically. So that's what I did. So they needed to go and get her books. So they went there with a cart and all that sort of thing. So that's one thing I changed up with her. Let's see what else here. One thing too that I didn't agree with was the bugbears had knowledge in Castle Cragmaw of the Wave Echo Caves location. I don't agree with that because it's too easy to charm them and find it out and bypass so much of the other crap in the adventure. It didn't make any sense. I liked on page 27 here. Let's see, 24, 25, 26, 27. I like this a little bit. Describe the party's overland travels as vividly as you can, but keep the story moving. You walk for several miles and encounter nothing of interest. It's far less evocative and memorable than a light rain dampens the rolling plains as you travel north. Around midday, you break for lunch under a lonely tree. There, the rogue finds a small rock that looks like a grinning face, but otherwise you see nothing out of the ordinary. That's cool, and I don't do that often. I need to do that more. So I wish I just got to keep that in mind better. Let's see. One of the magic items that you get from the dragon, if you kill it, it's a battle axe that does extra damage against things made of wood or something. So, trains or whatever. I thought that was pretty neat and a unique kind of an item. All right, guys. So let me take a quick step away here because I have to hit the head. I'll be right back. Give me a minute and talk amongst yourselves. I'll be there. I'll be back soon. Somebody can sing a song, maybe entertain us. All right, I'll be right back. And I'm back, boys and girls. Thank you for waiting. 28 people still here. Awesome. 28 people at once. Not bad. All right. So where were we? That was sort of I just read like my general notes of things I was thinking about when I was reading this. But there's not as many in this one as there were in the other videos because, like I said, I like this a lot better. It's just a much better adventure. So anyway, you're moving through. You go here. You drive the dragon out, and then you will eventually. That's a good picture. Venom Fang, cool name too. You'll eventually find the alchemist, the herbalist shop. There's the pendant, 200 gold pieces. Like I said, the books here were her goal, so they were not unreadable masses of rot. So that was her goal to get those books. They were preserved in some way. Okay. And I guess that's the druid. Oh, that's a cultist. That's one of the cultists you got to kill. Cultists of the dragon. All right, Wyvern Tor, Cragmaw Castle. Here's where you find Cragmaw Castle. You get into there, you have some fights, and I thought overall they were pretty good. Even the ones that didn't make sense on its face, like there was one room with an owlbear in it, right? And you're like, why would be a random owlbear? You could tell they just wanted to have a random owlbear encounter in this. And it's like, well, why? And they justified it by saying they captured the owlbear and they locked it in there. That's a hell of a fight to capture an owlbear and then lock it in that room there for, so that they could use it in some way against somebody. But, I guess they made it make sense. They made it make sense in a way. Okay, so some hobgoblin action here, and here another weird ass monster. Honestly, I think it was just to have a weird ass fucking monster in there. A grick, whatever the fuck a grick is. It looks like the Stranger Things monsters, right? A little bit the Demogorgon, little miniature they sent you in the Stranger Things box set. There's your owlbear, yeah. And then at the end, you get to fight Grawl, who is he has a wolf, and there's a doppelganger there disguised as a female drow. Is a messenger from the Black Spider, come to collect Gundren Rock Seeker and the map that he found from the Wave Echo Caves. Grawl wants us to sell the map, and he's trying to negotiate a thing as you enter, and then the fight starts. So that's pretty much happens. You rescue hopefully Gundren Rock Seeker, you get the map, and then you bring him back to the town. And then you move into the next section, the Wave Echo Caves. I made a lot of changes to this section, so let me check in on you guys first here and see where you're all at with that. All right, let's see. Where's the last comment? I tried to put a little star on the comment. There it is. All right. So magic poisoning. I missed B5 the original run. I was 21, lived in Vegas. So I was out every night doing living in Vegas. Yeah. The York side quest. Let's see what happens in Vegas. I just hate the Harpers, honestly. Yeah. Goblins are immortal. They're no going across a desert. You dare bet them. Die before. Yeah, exactly. They're going to die just crossing a stream. That's how I do it. They have a broad potential scope for additional enhanced developments of culture and race. In many interpretations, it's hard to not really like goblins. I agree. Goblins are, in my eyes too. It's one of those, like you've heard me say that orcs are evil, born and bred, and they're going to die evil no matter what you do. You can't rehabilitate them. You can't take an orc baby and raise them in a monastery devoted to the god of lawful good and have an orc be lawful good. He will kill the monastery people and eat them. That's how it is. Goblins are a different story, though. Goblins pretty much follow the leader of their tribe's alignment, essentially, I guess is what you could say. So they're neutral. They're malleable in terms of what they do. They're kind of like not quite animal intelligence. They're more so, but they're very malleable. And so if a strong leader type comes in and basically, comes in like Gum did with an alignment that was, goodish, right? Ruthless, but goodish, then that's how they will be. That's how I do it. Okay. Goblin plus lightsaber plus Yoda. Yeah. They screwed my game canon by turning Thunder Tree into ruins. Goblins are people. Goblins deserve rights. Spring day 5 of 90, year 953. Most memorable campaign characters lived in Thunder Tree, including a haughty bard named Lander Stormman of Thunder Tree. Thunder Tree is actually a cool name. I gave the quest to Thunder Tree, give my doppelganger work on a glass tap to throw the party off the trail. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a cool way to do it. Thunder Tree needs more foreign immigration provided by cultural enrichment. Save Thunder Tree. Had a party freak out when I realized there was a doppelganger running around. Yeah, because you don't know who your party member is. Could it be a doppelganger? We don't know. What should we make the words of the day? I don't know. Gum. That does sound like a good word of the day. I like gum. Yeah, we're gum. You're right. Gum is the word phrase of the day, guys. Yeah, I like that. All right, it's a Tremors encounter, and this one are essentials. I'm not sure. I don't think it's in this one. I don't recognize it in this one. It must be essentials though. My experience most of the new adventures more a little more than glorified storybooks. Yeah, they have chapters instead of like sections. It's like a chapter means it's like a novel, as you're writing a goddamn novel. Yes, Shark. I totally agree. I like the gray box Forgotten Realms and some supplements, the earlier ones, but lots of stuff is loaded with problems through inconsistencies. Yeah. The gray box first edition Forgotten Realms, the one that came out in the AD&D 1 first edition era, that was great. The next one was less great, and then everything after that sucked. So I agree. That dragon's a bitch for the LV fight. I agree. That dragon was a tough fucking fight. Modernist anachronisms, convoluted characters and plots, and more, unfortunately, not to mention the whole superhero effect. And yeah, it's a mess. Why Shadow Dark is killing it. No more heroes. I mean, hey, what's up, Tim? What's going on, man? Think heroes are fine. Superheroes are extra normal medieval campaign. Yeah, I mean heroes. Everything is heroic. If you do a search in the AD&D First Edition Player's Handbook, do a word search at an OCR copy if you haven't. The only time the word hero is mentioned is as a fighter name for a certain level fighter. The word hero, heroic, heroism, it's not in there at all. It wasn't meant to be a game of heroes and heroism or anything like that. So yeah. That's so everything has changed in second edition. All of a sudden becomes you got to be key heroes, right? So anyway, now we're at the Wave Echo Caves. The first thing I got to say about this is it sucks. The map sucks. It's a lousy cave system, and the whole nothing about it was good. And so I just changed it. I changed the Wave Echo Caves, the entire situation there, to make it into something bigger and better. So I threw out the map and I threw out all the encounters. So because this is my review, it sucked. All right, that's a cool picture, but everything about it sucks. So what I did instead was this book, Tales from the Yawning Portal, has something called the Forge of Fury. Everybody, it's an adventure from, I don't know what the hell edition it was originally, but it's an adventure, and the only reason I found this is because I was Google searching better dwarven cave maps, and I kept coming across these maps from the Forge of Fury. Like, what the fuck is this? It must have been a third edition thing because I never heard of it, right? But the maps are decent, or maybe it was a fourth edition. I don't know if I can know. The maps are really decent. So here's the map for the front door, the mountain door. Great, looks cool. All right, the map for a sub-level called Glitterheim, map called the Sinkhole, more sub-levels, and then the Foundry. That's where they do their work and create all the magical artifacts that this thing is supposed to have in it. So fantastic maps. I use this pretty much as written. I think I changed the monsters in there, though. I think I kept the Duergar, but I changed a lot of the monsters, but I use the descriptions as written, basically, and all the stuff in the rooms. I just changed around what the monsters were. And of course, I changed unless they were like a roper. That was a basic encounter. It could be anywhere, right? But I changed it around so that basically at the end of the day, the final fight was with the spider dude, but everything else was very, very different. And what that did was it expanded the time this would take infinitely. I mean, it took forever. As opposed to the Wave Echo Caves, this thing took probably 2 months to beat, right? Just the section alone. And they got more XP and more leveling out of it. So they were happy with that as well. So that's what I would recommend, guys. That's one big, huge change and one massive recommendation. I basically took this from the Tales of the Yawning Portal, the Forge of Fury, and I dropped it in there. I also, what I did, as long as we're here, I put into the Neverwinter Woods area up there to the north, I added the Sunless Citadel as an encounter area. I had that up there because that made total sense for being where it was. I added the whole Sunless Citadel. I thought that was a great adventure too. So I threw that in there. That was fun too. They went into the Sunless Citadel. That was another side quest that I just threw in. I created. I think it was after the Wave Echo stuff though. Everything was done with Wave Echo, and that was one of the adventures they had to deal with. Was that since I had the book anyway, I figured, what the hell? Let me see what else we could do. It was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. I didn't do Tomb of Horrors, or I stole against the Giants. They did some stuff in Giants. They did a little bit in Thay. I didn't do Tomoakin or White Plume Mountain. Not a fan of either of those. But yeah, so that's what I was doing though. That's what I recommend, guys. If you're going to do this ever, just use the Forge of Fury maps and use the Forge of Fury encounters. Change around in minor stuff, and you're good to go. Honestly, okay. I think it was pretty damn good. Some of those module maps are awfully dark. Yeah, they were. The Forge of Fury maps, they were. You could probably get better ones or better versions on the internet, but it was usable. Wave Echo Cave is massive. I went the other way, Teresa. I didn't cut it in half. I multiplied it by 20 times bigger. Was it second edition for Forge of Fear? I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, early third. Okay. So I would have thought I remembered if it was second, but early third, that makes sense because I only got into third edition after it came out. I wasn't tracking it. And then I jumped to it midstream just before 3.5 came out. So yeah. Hero. Give me the definition of hero when you can. All right. So anyway, you're moving back through here. You're killing shit in the Wave Echo Caves, and then you win. And at the end of the day, you're going to get. Well, here it is. Here's the thing. With hard work and a little luck, the adventurers have defeated the Black Spider and undone his destructive plots. cleared Phandelver of the ruffians who threatened his people and reclaimed the lost mine of Wave Echo Cave. Their deeds will long be remembered in this corner of the Sword Coast. In years to come, the restored mines of the Phandelver Pack will bring great riches to Phandalin and help establish peace and prosperity. The two brothers that live take it over. You get 10% of the profits and blah, blah, blah. You should be 5th level. I think my guys are probably 6 by the time it was done. And that's pretty much where the adventure ended. I mean, there's more pages, but it's appendices and magic items. These are actually cool fucking pictures, I got to say. So appendices, magic items, monster stat blocks, and all that sort of thing on how to run the monsters. So that was pretty much the adventure. There's some character sheets there. We had the maps and that's it. So again, 6 fucking dice. Really, man? 6 fucking dice? No, God, cheap fucks. You go such a great thing and you go cheap on the dice. It probably cost you a half of a penny per dice. God's sakes, and you went cheap on the dice. It's so stupid. So that's pretty much where the adventure ended. Now, I'll share with you a little bit of what I did. Let me kill that. Let me kill this and kill that. Don't. Sorry, I'm just closing screens down here so I could help the computer move along. I use Phandalin as the base of my campaign, and I expanded the shit out of it. Eventually, I used Incarnate. It was the first time I ever used Incarnate to do something decent. And you'll see, let me share this screen with you here. So let me see. There it is. So this is Roll20, and this is my Phandalin Roll20 map. I eventually created more. I expanded the territory. People came in, like the entirety of the town of Phandalin, all right, is right here. That's the whole, this little thing right here is a town. All right. Over here originally was a swampy area. I had them drain the swamp so they could drain it out and have more farmland, more arable land. Eventually there was a lot of wars and disputes and all that, and Phandalin became like neutral ground. It became like Switzerland where people would go to discuss things. So these are all like the ambassadorial buildings of that area. The other thing, too, is that there was a great massive hole in the ground here that led to the Underdark that I created. And there was this became a trading point, a trade moot. And dwarves came in and they made a huge freaking elevator thing to have trade with the Underdark communities, dark dwarves, anybody. It was like a neutral trading. Anybody could come and trade. You couldn't kill them. Even Drow, didn't matter. So here's this scale is 500 feet. So that's the scale, correct? I had, I had dwarves here. You're going to have beer crops. You got dwarven beer crops over here. My brother had Trask, his character had stables. He had some crops there. I talked about the boner wine. I think I talked about. There was a cloud giant attack. 2 cloud giant castles were fighting over the city, and bags of seeds fell down or something like that, and they were able to grow massive cloud giant sized crops. And when combined with rhino horn, essence of rhino horn from Schultz, they were able to make the wine into what I call boner wine, because it was like had the same effect as Viagra. So he had a huge thing going on that. All the old people in fucking Waterdeep were buying boner wine all day long. So yeah, you have more farms here from some of the settlers, all by name. A lot more down here. Training grounds. You had some lookout forts out here near the hills. All right, each one had their own name: Lion's Bluff, Eagle's Nest, all that. So a little fort up here to the north. Dwarven engineers building that up. I never finished the map when the campaign ended because there just wasn't time to keep it going. But this is probably about a year or so, or a year and a half before the campaign finally ended. There's a lot more developed up here. There's a lot more trade. All right, a lot more trade areas, warehouses, bars, things like that. Down here as well. So this is, I'm kind of happy with this map and the way it turned out. I have a larger, really shitty map that I will share with you, and you could see my area around Phandalin. All right, this is me sitting at my table over there. I think you saw, and you're writing this up with a fucking pencil and some crayons, I think. So this is my artistic ability, everybody. So all of the Phandalin shit that you saw was like right in here, this little area, but I created other areas outside of it: the Darkenwood, the Far Hills, the road that leads out to the Dwarven place over here, the Wave Echo Caves, some swamps down here. There was a crevice over here where Gum set up shop with his big old rift where all his goblins, lived with him under under his control and power. I think the big threat was, thank God Gum is there, because if he ever dies, they're going to go out of control and just like go back to their instincts and just sack Phandelver. And there was like hundreds of them at one time. They would have easily won. So it became like, Jesus Christ, Gum is like holding the lion by the tail. You can't let go. If Gum ever died, you better keep that fucker alive, because otherwise hundreds and hundreds of goblins are going to sack Phandelver. So it became like an investment. Like, we gotta keep him alive. The players were giving him the roll magic items just to make sure he fucking lived, So that was kind of a fun thing. Yeah. So that's what I kept doing. All these maps, Jesus, man. So I have let's see. Oh, this is an earlier version, I think, of Phandelver, a work in progress that I was doing as I was developing it out. I was just fucking with it just to see what I wanted to do with it. He was just using Incarnate, And also one thing I did for Silvermoon, guys, because Silvermoon, the way it's described is it's a city, it's a mining city with two rivers that cross it. So this old map of Pittsburgh from 1795 that completely fit the bill. I had Matt Jackson actually was able to piece it together, because it came in, there was like two parts. He was able to piece it together for me in one, joining two different PDFs together and make it into one thing. So I was kind of appreciative of that. But yeah, I thought this is perfect. This is a perfect map for Silvermoon. And I just found it online somewhere, just Google Pittsburgh map 1795 and you'll find it. So let's see, we got the Phandelver area. Yeah, I brought this map over because, again, it's good. And I was able to add some things there as I went along. I believe this is probably the Glimmerhold, the Gnome area there, the Sunless Citadel. That's where I put the Sunless Citadel I was telling you about before. I dropped it in there. Let's see, the Desert Valley, map of the north, Hellgate Keep, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, that's pretty much most of what I had in here, just in terms of the stuff that related to Phandelver. All the rest of the stuff, Icespire Keep, that was kind of cool. I threw that in there as well. Parnast. I'm just getting into the Parnas fights then. Geez, this is like memory lane here. Sorry, I'm just a little memory lane. The Red Mill Cabaret, because I had him go to Cthulhu 1920s Earth for a little bit there. Trying to see if anything else related to Phandelver. See, the thing is, we started Phandelver in person, and then it moved online. And so the earlier Phandelver stuff isn't here. And that's why you're not seeing too much of it. So started, like I said, started in person, moved it online a little bit. But yeah, you can do a lot with this with Incarnate here. I don't know what the hell the fucking this is. What is this thing? Oh, I think I made that too. Yeah, cool little map. I forget what the fuck it was. Oh, that's the floating cloud giant city, I believe it was. Yeah, the OG cloud giant city that he wanted back, or the storm giants city that he wanted back. Yeah. So I mean, that was pretty much it for what I did with Phandelver. So that was pretty fun though. It was a good time. It's a great starting adventure. It's a great module. Now, just sort of getting back to bring myself back here. So I did the initial overview, top level. I went through the module, but answering your questions as we went here. Now I just want to sort of get back to the outline and talk about sort of, now that we went over the whole thing, we'll go over some of the other. Let me catch up with you guys though here. I know you've been talking a little bit here. Why do you think Wizards afraid to get away with the Sword Coast? The recession with Sword Coast is very annoying. I think there's just so much data there. There was so much info. Everybody's used to it. They love it, Yeah, it's funny because they did start with Cormor and the Shadow Dark and all those lands around there, and Elminster and blah, 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 but everything moved to the Sword Coast. So first kept me young, a New York side quest. It's a nice ogre. Let's see, open your eyes and read more. Many heroes exist. Okay. Crayon the fill in the numbers. Yeah, I still got those. Make Phandelver great again. Oh God. Let's see. Need to buy a D100 one day. Let's see. The red hats, beer crops, barley, hops, and wheat. Yes. That's the Joe maps. I know. Yeah, Tim, the shitty maps. Yep. Shopping in Phandelver too. Yeah. No, that's one drawback. They didn't have a lot of lists in this module for prices for things. They just said you could buy stuff in the player's handbook. I didn't like that. I like lists of prices and items, especially the weird stuff, Not much for the Sea of the Falling Stars, but you know what I did for the Sea of the Falling Stars is I put the pirate book that Promise and his company, Chris Promise, put out, Freeport. I used that in the middle of the Pirate Isles. I used that as the Pirate Island, basically, I screwed things up at 5e, and they may have forgotten runs the default realm. Elves and dwarves and Pharaoh are different than in Greyhawk. I agree. Joe's biography, not a catchy name. FRCS was my favorite 3rd edition book. Okay. All right. So it looks like we're caught up here. So let's just sort of go back over a little bit again, some of the other stuff. So now that we've gone through the whole thing, right, let's see where we're at in terms of the review. So does it make sense? Yes. Good backstory. Yep. No info dumps. None of that. That was good. He had a good, strong start. There's an ambush on the road. Perfect. Gives you a sense of immersion. Yes, you're sucked right into it with fighting. You have a contact. You have to go save the contact. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Was it meaningful in ways other than hack and slash? Yeah. Good story. In terms of, you're building out something there. And, eventually they even suggest, your guys, your PCs can maybe take over that old manor house and build it up. What I did is, if you looked at that Phandelver map, there used to be a wall there. It's all in ruins now. But I had the PCs just basically scavenge the rocks from the wall and build up the manor from all those rocks that was laying around. So yeah, they built the manor and they set it up. It was like the Hall of Justice, basically. Non-linear narrative, yeah, it's sandboxy. There's a little railroady like I described, but again, it's a new adventure it's an adventure for new people. So you're gonna have a little railroading in there just to make it, usable, basically. Role-playing, combat, and exploration. Oh yes. Sense of urgency. No, I mean, you had to save the guys, but you never knew that there was a clock. You didn't know there's never a ticking clock of, well, you must do this by a certain time. All you knew that it was like as soon as possible, right? But in the meantime, you go on a side quest to check out the orcs over here. So there's never really, like, you don't do it by May 15th, everyone dies. There was nothing like that. So hold on here. Mm-hmm. And for the new people, like my cup, what's it say? Tears of my players. Tears of my players. Good plot hooks. Yep. Let me start out with a good one. I mean, save your friends, right? Personal stakes for the PCs. Not directly. I mean, you could develop that with the NPCs and relationships and all that. Definitely a chance for all classes to shine. You need it all here. You couldn't do this with a single class kind of a thing. Best suited for a one-shot, or can you make it into a campaign? This is the beginning of a campaign. It's not a one-shot. It would take you months to finish this. Subplots and twists. Not really. The big twist or whatever was that Glassstaff was actually a good guy at once, and all that sort of thing. Intelligent ecology, they did their best they could, I guess, other than the Nothic and that other weird ass Grick thing that didn't make much sense. At least the monsters, where they were, why they were there, it made some sense. Even when it didn't, like with the owlbear, they gave the owlbear a backstory, basically. It says they captured the owlbear, don't know what to do with him yet. Okay, good. Strong atmosphere. It was it wasn't definable, like, oh, this is really creepy, this is really exciting, this is really heroic. There was nothing like that, but that's up to the DM for the most part, I think. Strong ending, yeah, you saved the day. So were there any unique game mechanics in this? No, because it's a basic 5th edition starter adventure. They didn't do anything outside the box because that's not what Wizards do. Wizards of the Coast is pretty much by the book, and they never leave the box. They are the box, really. Memorable encounters. Yeah, I still think, like I said, I think that Goblin encounter first out was great. That was fantastic. It was so memorable because of that rushing water. I still remember Pete's guy nearly died. He got swept along his ranger and got fucked. So that was great, man. Different types of them, yeah. Tactical depth, yes, definitely. Good tactical depth to it. Are the monsters well balanced and interesting? And they're basic bitch monsters. I think the only thing they tried to do to make them interesting was add the weird shit like the Nothic. But it just made it weird. It didn't make it interesting, New monsters, I mean, they're all in the book, right? So they're nothing new. So there's nothing, not in terms of there's no new monsters introduced in this. Do they have unique abilities? I think so. Something like the Nothic did have some weird shit he could do. Were the enemies intelligent and capable of adapting the player tactics? Yeah. They even suggested some things that they would do. Some of the more powerful, not your generic goblin and whatnot, but the more powerful ones like Glassstaff and the spider guy, they try to negotiate or haggle wherever they could. So yeah, they would definitely adapt, and then they told you how to act, as if they were intelligent creatures. Thought that was pretty good. Did the monsters fit well into the setting and the story? Did they feel like they were randomly placed? No, they made total sense except for those couple instances. Were the mundane enemies handled in an interesting way? Yeah. I mean, if you look at the red sashes and stuff, I thought they were done well. The red brands or whatever you call them. The red sashes are out of Tombstone. Now I'm really confusing both of them. So yeah, that made a lot of sense. I think the NPCs were definitely memorable and meaningful. They added flavor, and it's up to you to make them evolve. Because that's my last question: is the NPCs, can they or do they evolve? Yeah, but it's up to you. Like, do what I did with my, columns, my paper there. That was pretty cool. Next, the shopping. No, there was crappy on the shopping department. There was no price list. There was no, this merchant has these things for sale and here are the prices. No, none of that stuff. I couldn't stand it. Did the local economy make sense? Not really. I mean, why would these people even settle there? It didn't make any sense. It's far off the road as a stopover point. There was no reason to start up that village again. There's not like there was mines in the area or vast natural resources. It didn't make sense for it to be there. And the economy, well, I don't know why it would be there, honestly. Were there other places to go to sell more, buy and sell more expensive stuff? Yeah, you have to go back to Neverwinter, basically, Was the villain one-dimensional? Pretty much. I mean, he was just an evil wizard, right? Does what he's doing make sense? Yeah, he had good motivations, trying to keep the secret because he found the way of Echo Cave. He's trying to keep it secret, so he's trying to kill everybody who might know. Morally ambiguous? No, he was evil. Does he grow and evolve? No, he was just evil. Was he a mystery? Yes, he was definitely a mystery. You didn't know who the hell he was, right? He definitely had some escape routes, at least for Glassstaff, and he had some decent minions, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. Were there chances to explore? There were many chances to explore here. You're going all over the damn place. There's mysterious places. You got the Thunder Tree thing, environmental hazards. I thought they were decent, especially if you did what I did and did the Forge of Fury. Lots of stuff in there. Good areas with good loot. Yep. Definitely. I thought they did well with that. Some unique magic items were kind of cool. I thought they were like the axe I was telling you about that does extra damage against wood or tree-based things. But that was cool. Even the glass staff was kind of a neat thing, a staff of defense, better AC, and you get to do a shield, I think mirror image or something like that, or shield to mage armor. So that was kind of neat too. Were there any puzzles or riddles or traps or mysteries? There were some traps, but no real, some mysteries you have to figure out where the place is. I mean, the whole thing is a mystery. Where is it? But I don't remember any puzzles or riddles at all in there. So yeah. As to player agency, was this linear or non-linear? I thought it was non-linear, but there was a couple of railroady things, like I said. Can they do their own thing, the PCs, without breaking the adventure? Yeah. You could go with Neverwinter and restock, supply, sell shit or whatever. But their choices do matter because there's so much going on in the adventure that I think it's up to the DM to make the decision as to if they don't do a certain thing within a certain amount of weeks, then a certain bad thing is going to happen. And so when they come back from Neverwinter after a week and a half of buying and selling and having a good time, things will have happened. Maybe the red brands have a resurgence. Maybe there's reinforcements, something, it's up to the DM though. And that goes to the next point of, are there meaningful consequences for ignoring plot hooks? Well, I mean, you can't win the game. You can't beat the adventure if you ignore the main plot hook. But if you, by plot hook, are you talking about the side quests? I mean, the only meaningful consequence is you may not learn certain things, or you may not get certain magic, you may not get certain XP. So, and then you walk into the Wave Echo Caves too low of level, Let's see. So good role-playing opportunities. Like I said, there's a lot of people in town to deal with, and I think you guys should expand it out, kind of like what I was doing there, and make it a real living, breathing place. You want to make it a place that the PCs maybe settle down in. You got to make it come alive. So that, I mean, even like the kids at one point, after the thing was all over, you got a bunch of kids running around. They just saw some heroes do some things in the town and save them. What are kids going to do? What are 12-year-old boys and girls going to do? They're going to pretend to be the heroes in the PCs, right? Instead of running around with their toy swords and, and their slings. And they even adopted Gum Gum because Gum Gum was like a child to them, right? He's a fully grown adult, but he's a little bit underdeveloped because he's been a hostage and a slave, right? So they adopted him as a playmate. But Gum Gum actually had some ability. He was a goblin with some goblin skills, right? And so they're running around play fighting against, the things in the woods. And I remember one of the kids came running back to the inn where the PCs were. It was just like they were celebrating. All right, it's all done. We kicked ass. We're having a beer, interlude time. We're seeing what's going to happen. Just role playing and having fun in town. And then the kids come screaming. Just yelling. Like two of the kids were yelling and screaming, and they couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Mommy, Daddy, they fell in the hole. Blah 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 blah. And so they fell in. There was an old quarry. And that it was so far into the woods, it was buried with boards or whatever, trees, brush, but nobody knew it was there because there's a lot of unexplored things because this town is newly developed again, right? And so the kids fell into a quarry, and the PCs had to go down, help the kids. Gum Gum was down there defending the kid. One kid broke his leg, so he couldn't move. Gum Gum's defending him against a creature that was down there, and because he was, he had some fighting ability. the PC swooped in, and there was like a cave to the Underdark, some tunnels to the Underdark a little bit. There was an Umber Hulk in there, and that was a tough fight. I think the Umber Hulk fight was tough, and I remember Gum Gum was fighting, shooting things at the Umber Hulk and not doing any damage, and the PCs arrived just in the nick of time, and of course saved them and this and that. And that was just fun, That was just thinking, that was just kind of fun. So you definitely can do a lot here. In terms of the role playing and all that sort of thing, just develop the town out. I think you'll have a lot of fun doing that. Let's see. So subplots and side content, definitely a lot of that. Individual quests for PCs, not so much for individual PCs, but for the PCs as a whole. Yeah. Were those side quests and all that relevant? Did they matter? Yeah. I think they made a good part of the adventure. It made a lot of sense. Were there any downtime activities and in-game economies to engage with? Not really fleshed out. I mean, you could buy and sell and sit at the end, right? And talk to them in there. As to the combats, was there a lot of environmental stuff to make it interesting? I thought so. I thought there was so many things you could mess with. They detailed the contents of the rooms. It wasn't just a room with a goblin in it. And so you could definitely do a lot with that. You could have fun with it. Let's see, good boss fights with the unique mechanics, new mechanics or unique things. I changed the boss fight around. I made Zira being a tiefling and her enemy were Cambions. I made him a Cambion. So it changed up a lot of things. It was my way to introduce Cambions into the setting too. So I really couldn't talk about how, the boss fight was for the Black Spider because I changed it up. Minis required a theater to mine. I think you probably want to use minis for this. There were so many little rooms and stuff that, you want to have a map on a screen or a piece of paper or something like that. Beyond combat, can you solve the combat? Can you solve combat stuff without the combat? Yeah, you could. There was the times to negotiate. You can cut deals, all over the place. And I thought they did that well. So you could have definitely some social encounters. And I thought that was pretty damn good. And again, the magic items and the loot and rewards were good. Good, unique magic items. Some interesting things that weren't just gold and silver. I think there was a frog at one point early on, little things like that. And it said it could fit into your pocket. Things like that are kind of nice. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. So then the PCs know there's not just gold and coins here. It's not a generic wealth factor, So that was good. And as the ending, like I said, I changed it up myself. So I made my own ending of it. But it definitely made sense. And it felt good to end it. It felt good that you accomplished something. It was meaningful. It has some plot twists. There were some meaningful endings to it. And it can lead to more adventures, most definitely, because now you have a great area to adventure within. Do what I did and expand the region out with that shitty map that Tim made fun of. So my overall rating on an A to an F scale or a 1 to 10 scale, I'd give this a 9.5. Honestly, 9 to 9.5 out of 9 to 10. Out of 9 to 10, I give it a A minus. The only thing the drawback was the Wave-Echo Caves and some of the little things I was talking about in there, here and there. But the Wave-Echo Caves map and all the shit in there sucked. And if they had a better map, if they used the Forge of Fury shit like I did, it'd be an 11 out of 10. It was that good. It was that good of an adventure. So I really enjoyed it. I liked the hell out of it. It was good. I can't say nothing bad about this thing. I really can't. It started off an almost 5-year campaign for me. So, of course, I'm talking from a sort of a fond spot in my heart towards it because it was a great, memorable campaign. But, yeah. So I thought it was great. Let's see. B+. Teresa give it a B+. Avernus will get a D+. It missed the assignment. Avernus sucked. I read through it. Cormanther, especially Midranor, were awesome. I loved it. I have the second edition Midranor box thing. Fucking fantastic. Good stuff in there. And there's another Midranor book that came out that you could use too and put them together. You did some good stuff. Unlike so many Wizards of the Coast stuff, third edition FRCS actually provided lots of devils and options. What is FRCS? Forgotten Realm. What does FRCS mean? I don't even know what that means, Shark. So there's definitely a decline in overall quality, content, writing, and design for Wizards with 5e. They also declined sharply in mechanics and comprehension as module design as the years go by. Yeah, they're getting worse. Agreed. They should have made magazines with short quests. Well, they used to have Dungeon Magazine. That was it, right? You sound bitter because it lacked stores. Yeah, they needed stores. They had stores, but they should have had lists in the stores. Yeah. Here's Joe the Shopper. I am. JVC. Better than Joe the Rules Lawyer. I am not a rules lawyer. Am I, Tim? I'm not a rules lawyer. Joe the Gene Hackman lookalike. I'll take that. That's a much better description of me. Adventures need countdown timers brimming with potential consequences. I don't always agree with that. I like that there's gaps where there's not a countdown timer. I don't mind countdown timers. I'll use them sometimes, but I like there's a gap where you don't have to always be doing something because holy shit, if you don't, then this. Because countdown timers, if they're always in place, all it becomes is another way to railroad the characters. That's all it is. That's all it is. They need their own goals. Let's see. I have boxes and boxes of minis. I think newer resin modules blow away most previous metal ones. I agree. Some good hard plastic models though, for sure. Yeah. Cool. I gave it a B plus. A minus, only a few points difference. Yeah. Yep. Campaign. Oh, Forgotten Realms campaign setting. Okay. A supplement. Campaign supplement. The best ones were the early ones. If you got, like I said, the Forgotten Realms AD&D box set, right? The first one, the gray box, and you got Waterdeep in the North, and you picked up, what was it? The Savage Frontier, and you picked up the one with AMN, Tether, and that area down there. Those are fantastic. They were really, really good. That's all you really needed to start off this whole campaign, honestly. And if you're going to do something in the Forgotten Realms, I never liked the whole Dale Lands thing. For me, it was just too tame. Everything was settled and conquered, and it was like there was not much going on there. That was fun. Whereas you look at the Forgotten Realms map, you pull that map out, there's a whole massive areas of just wilderness that you could go in and just fuck with. You can just mess with the whole place and just there's unknown everything in there. Yeah, never a rules lawyer. Moocher, scrounger, yes. Is that Gamma World back there? Yeah, I think it is. RE countdown timers. Recount of everything's a crisis. Nothing is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't have always a countdown timer. Yeah. There's a lot. That's one game shelf back there. That's only one that you're seeing. I have two of that size over here. I have one of that size over there, and then I have this one right behind me, which is full of all the stuff for my second edition campaign that I'm doing. Let's see, I could get a better visual here for you. You see all that? Yeah, so got the one back there. There's one over there with all the old school shit. Newer old school shit, OSR stuff, I should say. And there's two over here, the same size, but even more. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And there's some art up there. I got it. That's actually original art from Darlene that she autographed for me, and I was up there. Yeah. I got one on Dragon collection up here. Yeah, there you go. I don't know where that license plate came from, but it's mine now. Found in a box somewhere. Oops, shit. There we go. My dragon's up there. One of every color, along with there we go. A little tour of my room, I guess, is all you can really get out of this, the camera length. Yeah. So there you go. Little guided tour of my my Fortress of Solitude, the geek room, as I call it, the cool room, as others would call it. All the geeks would call it that, quite honestly. So yeah. I never used miniatures in a game in the 4 years I've been playing a DM. Yeah, I have. I think they're kind of fun. I think they're pretty cool. I don't mind them. I pull out the maps and whatnot and the grids and put them all on there and draw with the dry erase or the wet erase or whatever you're using. And it's a pretty good time. It's just fun to see it on it's just more tactile. I don't mind theater of mind, but I like the whole tactile experience too. And let's see. So far on Facebook, not one person watching. All 31 of you are on YouTube. So I'm simulcasting Tim on Facebook just to see, what I could get out of it. But yeah, nothing going on there. Yeah. So I don't think I showed you this corner here, my little drafting table and all that kind of shit, where I do all my stuff. Another guitar I suck at. I can't play. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. The rest of the room you didn't see. Yeah. Tim has been here. He's seen it. You've been here once, I think, right, Tim? Yeah. I think that's the one time. Hopefully you're coming back again for ShireCon. Hopefully this year, man. That's hopefully this year. But yeah, so 2 hours in, a little shorter this time than my last one. Last one was 2 hours and 40. It's only 2 hours. Wow, it must be slacking, or I'm getting better, or I'm getting worse at this. Whatever it is, I don't know. But man, I can't believe 31 people are still watching this shit, man. That's pretty cool. I wonder how many people it's going to be before it's all said and done. And also, I kind of wonder, like, pull up this whole thing on Facebook. See, now. Sorry, you're hearing me. I can't figure out how to fucking mute Facebook here. All right, there it is. So now I am watching on my own Facebook channel. I wonder if it's going to show up that there's one person watching on Facebook because I'm watching a live video on Facebook. Now, let's see. It says I'm live. It says I'm watching it. Okay, and it's goddamn closed captioning on Facebook for some reason, and yet it's still showing up here as nothing. Nobody's watching on Facebook, so I don't know. Maybe it's not carrying over the viewers from Facebook. I have no fucking idea. I know that the guitar is a torture device. Yeah, it certainly is. If you listen to me play it, you know. So yeah, nobody's watching. I don't know. I don't get the whole Facebook live thing. There's no comments other than me. Somebody shared it, but that's pretty much it. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with the Facebook thing. But it works. Works for me. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy the review? Is there anything that I missed? Anything I should have touched on more or focused on less? What do you think? How did I do? Any tips or advice? Anything you could throw out there? I'm always looking to get better at this thing. So especially as we get older and we want to get better before we die, right? Because that's the goal. The guitar is a torture device. It certainly is. I have some minis from when they came for their own lead poisoning. The girl in Jugs is fantastic. I mean, just finished. There's a girl named Jugs. I'm liking her already. Color blending and mixing. The lead adds the flavor. I enjoy painting minis. I think I suck at it, though. I don't bother painting minis. I have all my minis that I have. They're not pre-painted. They're still in that closet all white. From the whatever the plastic is, the original color of the plastic, because it just ain't worth it. So thanks, Shark. Gum Gum will now live forever in the comments. Yes. Thanks, Chad. Thanks. Is there anything I missed, though? Is anything you guys would have focused on more? Because a lot of you have run it or played it or, have read it at least. So is there anything you guys would have focused on more or less or wanted more info about? Anything like that? Let me know. But Gum Gum is the comment phrase of the day. It will be Gum Gum. So throw in a comment there for the algorithm for Gum Gum. And like I said, I threw up there, I made more tiers if you want to be a member. If I get to 50 members, I'm going to do a live stream once a month for all the members only. That's the goal of being a member. So I can't give you much else other than that. If you're doing it, you're just supporting me, throwing me money so I could pay for the webpage and pay for StreamYards or Restream, whatever the fuck it's called. Things like that. So I appreciate that. And like 5 people joined yesterday. I forgot even how to fucking membership thing. But 5 people joined yesterday. So everyone want to click on that and become a member, eventually, like I said, when I hit 50 critical mass, I'll do once a month. I will do a stream for all you guys who are members and just, one-on-one, just talk. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Hey, so what else is going on, peeps? What are y'all up to? I don't know. I'm sort of like talked out. I want to hear you guys. I'm all talked out. I need a fucking drink. With the tears in my player's mug. You like this, Tim? That's pretty cool, huh? I like it. The only thing is that it doesn't screw tight, so the seal isn't good, but whatever. You're drinking it anyway. It's going into your mouth if you tip it. Sorry. Yeah, Gum Gum was fun. He was going to be around forever. He's going to be around forever, man. Yep. Thanks, Death Angels. Yeah, he's a good dude. He grew and basically he was started as a piss pants bedwetter, scared to death of everything. Whoa, oh, nice, man. So OSR Grognard level. Thank you very much. What I did do is I added more levels in. There's a 99-cent level, and within a day or two, there's going to be like 4 other levels. If anybody really has a lot of fucking money to waste on me, have some more levels you could join in on, Some of the memorable moments of your campaign would be interesting to hear. That's always cool. Okay. All right. There's so much happening in Phandelver now. Holy crap. I mean, so much happened there. Just the God, I'd have to go back in my notes and just go through it. I mean, holy shit. It became the base of operations for all the players. It became their place. So everything became centered in there until they expanded out and into the region and into the world around it. And even then, they still had their base operations back there, as well as Waterdeep. So that was kind of fun, What do I need to do? An audio book of your house rules. An audio book of my house. My house rules are on Analog Mancave. So if you go there, let me pull up. I'll give you the link here. I have both my 2E and my 5E house rules there. I do believe. Let me see. House rules. All right. No resurrection. My updated 2E house rules. 5E. Here we go. So here is the link for the 5E house rules that somebody asked for earlier rather. Okay. All right. So there you go. You got the 5E house rules. And then let me give you my 2E house rules. And this is maybe not the most current second edition house rules, but I'm pretty sure it's the most current 5e house rules that I have. Okay, so that's my 5e, and here's my 2e house rules. So take a look at that, and yeah, see what you think. Yeah, they're good though. An audiobook of my house rules. It would take years to read through my house rules as an audiobook. Oh God. I would be hilarious seeing a review Strixhaven. Oh God. The Starbucks coffee shop. No, I think I would lose myself as a human being, would lose XP levels, I would have Cthulhu insanity points all hit me all at the same time if I tried to read that shit. I mean, I understand the gist of it, and I just tapped out. Honestly, the Tasha's Cauldron of bullshit is where I tapped out of this. Then when they came out with that is where they broke it. That was it. The Mordenkainen's thing was great. I thought that was interesting. The Book of Foes, it got into a lot of different detail. I thought the Volo's Guide to all the different monsters really fleshed out like a lot of the humanoid races and what they're all about. That was a fantastic book. And after that, I think they fired everybody, and they hired people who just token people, or they just useless people or something. I don't know what it was, but they just got rid of anybody good. They fired, they got rid of them, laid them off, and they hired idiots and outsourced it to independent contractors or something like that to save money. And the quality suffered, like Shark was saying. Eric, you made it. Only champion is allowed fighter with sword. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Fuck all that other nonsense. I'm not using that. What was that? It never made sense. It never made sense to have like a fighter with casting spells, the Eldritch Fighter, or the hell it was called, or the one where you can just shoot an arrow and cause fear. How the fuck? What? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah, exactly. That thing was exactly. Yep. Hello, Eric. Yeah, Mordenkainen's DM only. Exactly. Those two books were DM only, Volos and Mordenkainen's. And they said, "Oh, we got to make something for players or something." So they came out with other nonsense. But Tasha's is where they screwed it. That's where they jumped the shark. That's where they jumped the shark. That was where they got fucking sloppy. They got lazy. They thought they could keep riding this 5e money train. I think it might have probably around the time of the beer bug, and so they're like printing money over there because everybody's playing. Because what else are you gonna do? You're stuck in your fucking house, So what the hell, Blade Singer? Fuck Blade Singers. Yeah, but that's kind of what they wanted to make it, the Blade Singer, though. Yeah. So that's where they lost it. That's where they completely lost everything, and it's a shame because they had something going on. As custodians of the hobby, they suck. They absolutely suck as custodians of this hobby. But as owners of IP, they're milking this IP for every single thing it's worth. Personality traits and not used. I don't use any of that shit at all. I don't use any of that crap. It's useless. It is useless shit. Let me see if I updated my 2E house rules. I guess I could go over some of the highlights. Let me see. It seems like Teresa's reading all the house rules there. Let's see the 2E house rules. You see it? Let's see house. Let me get the house rules. I guess I could go over some of the highlights here. 5E house rules to make 5E more house. All right, here we go. Oh, that's my video on it, damn it. Where is it? Where's the fucking link to the rules? There they are, infamous house rules. Yeah, this is a couple years old, so, that's pretty much it. Ability scores, I told you, we already know how to do that. Hit points, max the first level, keep rolling. And I like what I did with the whole hit point thing. Like, if you're a D8 guy and you level up and you roll shit, you say you roll a 1, then what you get a chance to do is you could roll again, but on a D6. And if you roll a 1, you could roll again, but on a D4, right? So you could basically end up as, like I said, a barbarian with a D12 and lower and lower and lower till you get all the way down to like 1 hit point on the D4 if you really suck bad. You could roll like Tim, basically, if you're doing that, I allowed all the races except Tieflings, Dragonborn, and Drow because I made changes there. I gave halflings a dark vision. No warlocks, sorcerers, bards, or monks because they suck. They all suck. These monks have never made sense to me. Bards are, my take on bards. And warlocks and sorcerers, I incorporated into Cambions and Tieflings. So that's why I got rid of those guys. No assassin subclasses. Only rogues can use acrobatics to climb. Rangers, I combined as PHB, but I gave them both archetypes, so the hunter and the beastmaster, because Ranger is the most underpowered fucking class in the game. I had to do something. Only circle to land for druids. Clerics, I gave them one more channel divinity, which is like the equivalent of turn undead to start with. Only traditional paladins are allowed. None of the bullshit paladins. Only champions are allowed. Only fighter thief multi-class. That's it. That was it. And perception checks I don't think it's in here, but I made perception. The new, it does. It's there using the intelligence mod, not wisdom, so that the cleric is no longer the best trap finder in the group, right? Searching is going to take a while, and you might get a wandering encounter. It's a good time to do that. Group initiative on a D6, although they never stuck. Everybody liked to do their own. So we ended up doing, by default, the D20 and, figure that out like that. Let's see here. Still nobody on Facebook. All right, back to the rules here. Undead are immune to necrotic damage because but it's never listed. Like it didn't just say that in the book. Like a lot of these, you could tell like undead are immune to necrotic damage. That came up in like a situation. And I'm like, well, wait, it's never described, it's never defined. No, so I'm like, all right, then I'm making them, and then I put it into the house rules, right? Let's see. Some of a blinded creature cannot hit shit. There's no such thing as blind fighting. An invisible creature cannot be hit unless it's moving and heard. They attack with advantage. I brought in some of the 3rd edition turn undead shit where you could just do a blast of energy. I kind of like that. In terms of you just harm them, harm them with energy, negative energy or positive energy, depending on your class and your god, basically. You see my critical role stuff in there. That's save land. I made a point to tell them that death save land, once you're down below 0 with the death saves, sometimes intelligent enemies will savagely attack a PC a few more times when they go down, just to make sure they never, ever, 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 ever get up again. So know that, right? I do the kick the body over. You don't roll death saves each round. You roll when the player gets healed or someone does a medicine check to stabilize the person. That way you never know if your guy's dead or not because there's a clock ticking, right? Let's see. And then basically, once you get into death save land, depending how far down you went, you are going to be incapacitated for up to like 24 hours in a coma. And then after that, you can't do shit for like 96 hours, depending on how far you went down. That way there's a consequence to it. You can't just get up the next day. If you were just on death's door, you're literally looking at the Grim Reaper. You get a Cure Light Wounds cast on you, and then you're sucked back, and then you're going to jump up and do the fucking polka. No, you can't. You're done. You're done. You got to like fucking rest. Here's what I did too is let's see. I brought in the AD&D stuff on protection scrolls. Anybody could use a protection scroll. I liked that rule. All right. Ritual spells. Druids and clerics only, not mages, druids and clerics do not need to have a spell that can be cast as a ritual prepared for the day. As long as the spell's of a level they can cast, they're able to cast those ritual spells as a ritual because they have a prayer book. All right. So wizards do need to have it in their spell book. They don't need to have it prepared. So that's pretty much how I gave them a little more flexibility. Okay. Let's see. Magic arm, teleport spells. Yeah, teleport spells have been modified. Basically, I made them a couple levels higher. So that's pretty much what I did. The fifth level teleport was 7th, and the 7th is 9th because I didn't like teleporting. I want to have people still, no matter how high your level is, until you get to the highest of levels, I want you to be able to have to travel by horse or something like that. Keep track of where your shit is for encumbrances. I did not do any sort of insight for social encounters, insight, deception, persuasion, none of that bullshit. I said, you need to talk like a fucking human being, basically, and you figure out if they're telling the truth or lying or something like that. Why would I sit there and do a whole 45-minute interaction with an NPC, me playing the NPC and them playing the PCs, and the NPC's trying to lie and deceive him, trick him, trap him, whatever the hell, and you have this whole 45-minute in-depth, in-character, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro style, fucking method acting, awesome roll social encounter, and then they say, okay, I'm going to roll to see if he's lying. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're not going to roll to see if he's lying. You figure out if he's fucking lying. That's bullshit. So that was pretty much it. Those are the highlights, I guess. You know what I mean? So those are the highlights of the flavor of my 5e house rules. And somehow I have 33 people here now. Started talking and I got more people. Let's see. Alignment to not used. Yeah. Don't care about the hobby. I don't think they understand what it actually is. No, anybody who cared about the hobby is done. Honestly, I wouldn't mind some attrition in the hobby, especially all the ones for the fad factor. Yeah, I know. I can only hope and pray that the millennial types who picked up D&D as the cool thing, just like they picked up vinyl and they picked up, I don't know, whatever bullshit games that millennials play that they last a year, the new fad. I hope they all drop out and we could get back to being just fucking D&D. It often seemed to me that Wizards of the Coast hates D&D. No races, no alignment. Everyone's a superhero and on and on. It just gets stupider and stupider. I agree. I don't see it on Facebook. I was on my Facebook. It was on, it's not like Tim, if you look on my channel, look on my profile for Facebook, it's not there to click on because it said it was live. That's kind of weird. Drunk goblins are the best trap fighters. I agree with that. Must depart. Thanks, everyone. Later, Albert. Thanks for joining, man. Eric Duber, don't need that when you have a raging barbarian. That's true. The Locust came in and took over, destroying everything that made it special. Yeah. Hopefully we saved enough seed to regrow the crops after they depart. I think we've proven that we can. That's what the OSR is all about, right? Look at Shadow Dark. I know it's going on pretty good. All right. It's weird because this is my right, but it's showing up on my left. It's fucking me up. I had to do that. I had to turn off the mirroring so that you could read the things I'm showing you. That those other words aren't reversed, but it's like I go here. That's my right hand side. Anyway, I ain't been drinking either. I'm just confused. Not sure things get better under current Wizards of the Coast leadership, though. I don't think so either. My world of Thrandur. I got rid of the flying spell, Raise Dead, and Resurrection. Yeah, I don't have any of that. You're dead. You're dead. I don't like flying. Yeah, I made flying a higher level spell too. Jack and the Wizard and Cleric card to bring the entire game down to more reality. I did the same thing, Shark. Yep. I think I made fly a 5th level spell. Gotta let your stitches heal. It's only a flesh wound. Yeah, exactly. When I joined, I saw 36. Wow, nice. Yeah, still don't see it. I'm surprised. I wonder what's going on. Because I saw it on my channel. It said I was live. That's kind of strange. So lawyer rules. Thank you, Lekat. God, I can't pronounce your name. Lechat Nocturne. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's great for DMs who can play a character that convincing. Expecting every DM to be a skilled con man might be overreaching, but you got to try. You got to get better. Yeah. I guess then pay attention, use their own perception ability. I mean, you give them clues, you could make faces, or there's clues you could give as a DM to lead them to think that it may or may not be true, or something like that. But it's up to you. You got to pull it off. You got to pull off the bullshit. Really, is what it comes down to. Yeah. Man, I've been talking for 2 fucking hours. More 2 hours and 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So I can't believe it's still 33, you crazy maniacs here. But I do appreciate you joining in the channel and watching this show. I think I'm going to wrap it because I'm tired. It's a lot of talking, man. So thank you for joining. Thanks for listening this long. Appreciate it. And we will come back here tomorrow. I can sing as I'm wearing my Mr. Rogers sweater here. Tomorrow, I have a cardigan. I bought it off Amazon. I call it my Mr. Rogers sweater because I go home from work. I take off my work clothes. I put on my Mr. Rogers sweater. Go out on my back deck when it's nice out and fill a bowl and do what Mr. Rogers, I think, probably did. I think he was a pothead. I would love to have seen Mr. Rogers and that fucking painter guy. Happy Little Mistakes. What the hell is his name? That everyone knows what I'm talking about. They got the fucking perm, the Happy Little Accidents. That guy. I would love to see Mr. Rogers and him just fucking hanging out and smoking a big fat bowl, because they both did. There's no way Mr. Rogers would be that cool and that chill, especially dealing with fucking kids all the time. Without being a pothead. And the other guy did. The painter guy did. Bob Ross. Fuck me, Bob Ross. That's what it is. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. What do you think about the passive skills? I don't do passive skills, Death Angels. I don't do passive perception. Not at all. I can't stand it. You have to do it, The SJWs these days are nothing compared to the pastors and politicians in the house who survived in the 80s. That is true. Hoorah. See you tomorrow, guys. Bob Ross. Yes. Bob Ross. So I will be on tomorrow, and we will do tomorrow. I'll be back to the GM series. So you can have a new video on that tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow's Monday, right? Yeah. So 1:00 tomorrow, you'll have a video about the GM series. What is coming up next in the GM series? Let me see. Where the fuck are we? How to end the campaign. Tim and I talked a little bit about it. We talked about how we're ending our campaigns, but tomorrow will be like the formal video about ending campaigns, what to do, what not to do, how to do it. So that'll be tomorrow's video, ending campaigns, guys. All right. So that'll be it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Bob Ross is buried in Orlando. That kind of fits. But thank you very much, everybody. Take care and have a great one. Hope you had a good weekend and kick ass this week. Bye-bye.